Shout out to my nigga Chimp, definitely coming to the motherfucking Gotham City to do a real interview, not none of that fake shit.
Alright, yeah, man. Listen, man. Everybody show y'all support, show y'all views, whatever the case may be with my boy Chatting with Chimp, man. Go back to 5 flats on the caddy, man. 5 flats on the caddy, you heard?
All over the place, man. Shout out my boy Chimp. Of course, you know, Chimp, me and Chimp go back. Man, listen, man. Y'all don't even understand how deep this run, man. You heard?
Shout out to my boy Chatting with Champ. Got me on here. Follow me on Instagram at Future2Great, Facebook Future Allah, Twitter Future Allah, no, Instagram Future Allah. So I switched everything up. So just Future Allah everything. iTunes, Tidal, Apple.
You know, I was chatting with Champ. Appreciate it.
And where you from, man? Tell them where you from.
I'm from Jersey.
Jersey. Where we at right now?
In New York, Manhattan.
All right, man.
Goddamn right.
Feel me? Shout out Champ. You know, talking with Champ was great. You feel me?
Your boy on Casa, Cranman Rockstar, legendary Dipset member. I was just chopping up, chatting with my boy Champ Jones. It was a pleasure.
I was chatting with my boy Champ. I want to shout out my boy Champ and Fail, Sisson, all the boys from out there. Man, this is real out here. What?
I was chatting with Champ. Shout out to Champ Jones.
Chatting with Champ, man. Shouts out to you. Thank you for having me. And yo, this is a dope experience.
I was hollering at Champ, man. Shout out to Champ Jones, man.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Rich Flay. You know what it is. I was just hollering with Champ, man. You know what I'm saying? Cooling with Champ Jones, man.
You know what y'all do. Make sure y'all tune in to Chat with Champ. Like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. We out.
Has Champ ever chatted with Champ?
All right. I got a question for you.
Yes.
Why did you feel or know that it was important to tell the community or just tell people, inform people about things such as urban trauma and what that is and how it shows up in our lives? Like, why that topic?
I feel like personally everybody already knew about urban trauma. Our grandparents, great-great-grandparents, great-great-great-great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, those who experienced dropping out of school, those who seen those parents going to Vietnam, and so many circumstances that came to adapt into society already knew about the same things that I'm talking about today. Only difference is that I feel, at least the way I'm doing it, I want to do it, is that, you know, it's just my vision. That's really the only difference. It's just my vision and my perception on how I perceive how things were from being around those who were affected from those times in the 60s and the 70s. And even my great-grandmother, who was born in 1912, she's still alive, God bless her. Even from her time up to now, it's the same stories, the same calculated experiences, and the same type of communities, the same, you know what I'm saying, mental health issues. It's just a matter of how I could paint my picture using my paint and my canvas, that's all.
Don't sleep on motherfucking Hartford. Motherfuckers sleep out here in Hartford. Don't motherfucking sleep in Hartford at all.
But
don't sleep on it.
Alright.
I seen so many changes, been through so many dangers. Still hurt from the first time pain came to my brain and said hi to me. I tried to stay
was growing up and when I was in elementary school, it was like the grounds where, right where my building was, it was like the division between the Latin Kings and the Solids.
I'm a blackout. It seems like I'm stuck on a back route. Stuck in a fire.
The Solitos and the Latin Kings, but we all knew that 20 Love was a gang as well, and they basically was the black guys.
I can't back out, feeling burnt up like a little black house. Broken glass, dope in bags, coke and slabs, the posing cabs. I'm supposed to ask, why am I living this? I've been thinking for a while, I can't figure it.
Man, when I got shot, guess.
You heard? I'm a real nigga. My nigga Baby Us, baby. I got you, baby. And I'm gonna send you motherfucking, I got you, nigga. I ain't forget about you, nigga. Real niggas do real shit. I know about this shit, nigga. We bleed for this shit, nigga. You heard?
I figure it's a globe white plot. Living as a nigga, I feel white not. Cause every single plot is corrupted, haunted. Living a nightmare we never even wanted. Why floss shit? Cause they take lives. So cool off, or take 5. Every single day brings trouble, son. You just gotta feel where I'm coming from.
God damn. Some real shit. My era, we was called over the bridge. We over the bridge, like we came from over the bridge. We knew you from off GP. You couldn't blend in with our kind over here. You feel me?
That whole Singing Street area, that was everything was there, man. Like all the fly shit was there. Like it was really a movement.
Go over the bridge. You already know. First spot we hit, we gonna hit AVE. Avenue all day. You know how that shit is over there. Gotta be well known, gotta be well respected. You just come over there and try to eat something.
Hey yo, keep it a buck with you, man. The OGs is the reason why the Ave is what it is right now.
Made in America.
You know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers want to come join the Ave because of the kosher. You know what I mean? And because of what we represent over here. You feel me? Like I said, it's nothing but family over here. You feel me? And there's always good vibes over here, man. No matter how many times niggas argue, they don't fight. We get together, we sip, we smoke, and shit be good over here. You feel me? This is like a real family shit right here, and I'm glad to be from here. That ass.
Go to the hood, you got the field.
First place I lived was Enfield Street. I lived on Vine Street first, then we moved to Enfield Street. Growing up on Enfield, right around the corner, you got Edgeworth, you got Mansfield right there. Cut the field. Back then we was young, but you still had them little fights going on and all that, whatever. So, and back then, it really wasn't no family there. You know what I'm saying?
It was always, when I was young, you used to find, like, before they knocked down 105, you find bodies and shit on the field, and niggas got killed and shit, so they start calling shit the murder field. Feel me? I see like the late 80s, saying, but it really got more popular in the 90s and shit. Feel me?
Got hold on. The whole Ave, Martha, SMS Chappelle.
We had the Bricks, Marvin Gardens, Connecticut, inside Chappelle, also known as Hollywood, CGP, home of the Money Maggots.
Goose Park to West Hill.
Niggas never mean up from Western Street, bro. Like Western Street niggas, when I growing up, niggas was beefing with every hood.
Westland.
Niggas was beefing with nothing called. Niggas was beefing with the Vale. Niggas was beefing with the Ave. Niggas was beefing with Enfield Street. Niggas was beefing with everybody. So it's like at the end of the day, by the time I got older, niggas start beefing. I start fucking with like niggas from like the Vale and shit like that. And all shit, but like also the real shit like people are being like when I was coming up, when I was a kid, them niggas was beefing with them niggas.
Bossy, Squid.
When you was, let's say, like not even a teenager yet, but a young boy, man, how would you describe the atmosphere and community life of Bedford Square?
Hunt Zone, ER, and Cape Fear, Brian out the Bush, Dutch Point, the Brook. Try to open.
It's two sides. You got A side and D side. I feel like, to me, this is my opinion. I feel like Tyrone was the #1 dangerous project in Hartford, Connecticut.
In Westbrook. So hope, man, listen, too many streets to be fucking naming, man.
We had certain hoods. It wasn't every block. How we got every blocks now. You only had certain hoods. It was the Ville.
Stowe Village.
The hustle was down the Ville.
Stowe Village housing projects.
We had a lot of people. A lot of people from the Ville. A lot of people from the court, you feel me? Like, especially the Ville. A lot of people. I fuck with Ville, it's true. I fuck with them niggas.
Ville back in the day, I ain't had this Ville experience with my grandmother's Ville from the Ville.
Rebellious, never been jealous. I wonder how God would feel if he met us. Cause every time I turn around, niggas in the medics. Ball low cut, waist braids are dreaded. I grew with the forest.
This shit been going on before we was off the porch, like Avenue and them niggas over there, the Phil and all that shit. This shit been going on for a minute.
Where you grew up, mommy?
I grew up in Stowe Village.
Constant shooting, constant fighting. I watched the baby get thrown out of a window. You know, people in the hallways. We on our way to school. You see them nodding and shooting up. And I also watch my family sit in those same hallways and do that.
Where I lived at, that was one of the most drug-infested areas. You look out your window like I don't know who looked out their window. Nas looked out his window or whatever, project window. I saw junkies out there. You look out my window, wasn't, you know, birds and squirrels or whatever. It was junkies, nodding, throwing up.
It was just unity, just learning, just having fun. Like that shit was lit. Like that shit never slept. It was going down.
And we had like family days. We had the community center for the kids. I even went when I was a little girl to free lunches and all that stuff. When I was growing up there.
The Buddy Breakfast. Fun Club was old and already established, but Buddy Breakfast was new. Mentoring program for boys. We ended up doing one for girls as well. Every Saturday morning we had breakfast, sausage, eggs, and biscuits with orange juice. Everybody loved my eggs because they were nice and cheesy. I made them. So I was a mentor to those kids. We had outside guys that came in, police officers, firemen, other clergymen.
Stowe Village was awesome. I have the best memories from there. Because we all got along. We used to have that thing where
Project Interaction.
You clean up in the summertime.
Sport events for Stowe Village, Nelton Court, and Beverly Square at the time. I think Cherish was involved. Stowe Village, Nelton Court, and Beverly Square. We used to play each other in basketball, baseball. The girls did softball and the girls did basketball, I believe. And we also had flag football with that program called Project Interaction or whatever.
And we was against Nelton Court and Beverly Square. You know, if you won, like Stowe Village used to always win. And we got big ass cookouts and all that good stuff.
Tell me about Fun Club.
Off the chain.
Fun Club. You was from the Ville, you was in Fun Club. You was a kid in Fun Club, you was a counselor in Fun Club. You helped out, you know, you worked at the center during the school year. Fun Club, Batterson Beach, free lunch. Table game, you learn how to play checkers, bumper pool, all that. So, Fun Club. Can't talk about Stowe Village unless you're talking about Fun Club.
Who was raising your kids? Was you raising them as a single mother?
Yes. No, not actually. I was a single mom, but I had my family. You know, they say it takes it took a village to raise these kids, because it was like Stowe Village was who helped me raise my kids.
More problems, fuck freaks, get dollars. We came from the bottom. We came from the bottom.
We have a strong family bond, you know, so it was like everybody there was like a strong family, like just straight up family. Everybody helped with everybody's kids.
Stowe Village. That's the project. That's where I grew up. I used to live in 43 Kensington Street. I moved to 87 Hampton Street. Hard block. That's just a different world. That's where I get that shit I talk about from. Like that shit opened my mind to like a whole different way of living.
What's some of your best memories growing up in Stowe Village?
Just camaraderie, just like it was like a big ass family. Niggas ain't never need nothing. But he was straight there. It's worse without the projects. I feel like hell yeah. Projects were straight. We took care of each other. We did what we had to do.
So does Stowe Village name have anything to do with Harriet Beecher Stowe?
Yes.
As far as historically?
Yes. People don't know that. I mentioned that on my Facebook page not too long ago. Harriet Beecher Stowe, right next door to Mark Twain house. She lived over there. Harriet Beecher Stowe was trying to help with women's suffrage, which is, you know, women's rights and all that stuff, and also kind of the slavery stuff or whatever. So we got a good one and naming Stowe Village after Harriet Beecher Stowe or whatever. So that's where the Stowe Village name come from. People don't even know that.
Don't care if it was gangs, everybody got along. You had the Los Celitos, 20 Love, and Latin King. We all lived around each other, got along.
Hustlers. And the orgy and all that when I grew up.
The orgy, or like I said, it was Tough Town Fellas before the orgy, the Hustlers before the orgy, then the orgy, then
the orgy. They used to do stuff for the community, like Christmas time. They used to get a U-Haul truck filled with turkeys for Thanksgiving and just hand it out to people like dinners for people.
Then like the 90s, kind of what, the mid-90s, early 90s, that's when it became 20 Love stuff or whatever, and Solitos and Latin Kings and all that stuff.
That's what my older niggas came up repping. I'm like a street kid. Like I was outside. Yeah. My uncles had the green and black beads on and shit like that. Like, so if anything, like I'm a descendant of that. I come from that. I come from a 20 Love gang culture.
Well, the 20 Love?
Yeah.
I mean, I was around, so I saw. There was definitely, a part of what I saw as far as my upbringing here. You feel me? Because, I mean, like, I'm from Earl, you feel me? Earl, the Ville, you know, it's nothing for them niggas to be having meetings in Bracket Field, which is my backyard. You know what I mean? I remember that. I remember that. I remember Death Row, you feel me? I remember all of them. I remember them colors, sky blue and black, Death Row colors.
Well, Death Row came around when 20 Love came around.
Got you.
So that was like in 95. I was at the center. So the kids to come around, Death Row, I'm like, yo, y'all know I'm not having that.
Right. Memories about a little gang back in the day called Death Row.
Yeah. I was a young nigga. I wasn't sure if it is. How it is.
You remember their colors?
Nah, I can't remember that. I think it was sky blue and white, some shit like that.
It was light blue and black.
That shit was light blue and black.
I'm
doing just some strings. Fuck it, man. It's just some beads and design them shit.
That shit was just to go against the grain of what everybody else was doing, nigga. We wasn't trying to be like nobody else. We wasn't trying to be no Bloods, no Crips, none of that shit, nigga.
We ain't like them niggas. In the project.
We was trying to be our own motherfuckers.
The same motherfuckers our age in the project.
We was on Hampton Street, straight robbing everything to
Hampton.
I say 9-3. Beginning of 9-3, Death Row really ain't nothing but some little Ville niggas that wasn't dubs when 20 Love hit. And we clashed with our other Ville niggas. And there's a few Ville niggas our age that was 20 Love. and then the rest of us wasn't. So being that we all from the Ville, when we ain't no suckers, we clash with each other. And that's Death Row. Death Row still end up getting down with 20 Love for financial reasons.
Remember it was, but remember it was
green and black. 20 Love colors. You know what I mean? They were definitely here. You know what I mean? That's all I could attest to that fact. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, back in the days it was that 20 Love shit because everybody had a unit. You had to be with it. The Solitos and Latin Kings, but we all knew that 20 Love was a gang as well, and they basically was the black guys.
Sets try to recruit me like I really buzz. I ain't joining the gang unless it's 20 Love, nigga.
But yeah, that's what it was then. Like for real, like my pops used to talk to me when I was little about baby love. Like you baby love, you gonna be baby love.
And yes, we had baby 20 Loves. Anywhere from 10 to 14, like whatever they was out there.
That's a gift and a curse. I'll tell you my theory, and some people try to back it up. Some people try to debunk it. Some people will back it up. Crookville came from Crooklyn, the movie by Spike Lee. That's where I remember it from. You look up when Crooklyn was made. I think it was made in about 94, 95. Could have been 92. Could have been 96. But that's where I think the name spinned off from, because you talk about Brooklyn, but the movie was called Crooklyn, so we did the same thing with DeVille and called it Crookville or whatever. It's cool to play with that name, but a lot of the old timers, I say from my time and older, ain't fond of the name Crookville because of the notion that you're a crook, and a lot of us aren't crooks and we don't want to be considered crooks. But I live with it because I understand it. But you got some older people, you know, might be 60 something. You're Crookville, nobody know. They'll call themselves the Brickyard, or they'll just say DeVille or whatever. And then the Brickyard becomes, is that Bellevue Square or is that Stowe Village? That's a whole nother thing as well. That was before my time. I don't know what the Brickyard is. I know DeVille. Then I became associated with Crookville because I was here still when it transitioned from DeVille to Crookville, whatever. So big shout out to Pastor Lane, like I said, Big Bo, and everybody. Co-op store, Jimmy Bester Truck. I mean, I can go on and on. Like I say, born and raised there. I got so many stories to tell, but I love my Stowe Village people, and they know that, and you know, it's all love.
Nelton Court.
The projects acting. Project Nelton Court.
My father from Nelton Court, you feel me? I grew up with a lot of niggas from the projects, you feel me?
As far as those projects, I had Nelton Court. You had, you know, but Nelton Court was where, you know, that was the closest project to me. You feel me? And Nelton Court, right here on my motherfucking arm, goddamn.
And that man.
And we coming from two projects. Fact. That's how real it is. We coming from two projects.
This nigga done ate at my house, and I done ate at his. I done slept at his.
He from the Ville, I'm from Nelton Court. We come from two projects.
Nelton Court Projects, DCP.
I'm trying to buy myself from Satan. I can't keep up with payments. Strange writings on the wall got me feeling like a caveman.
Wrong but not forgotten.
Life is so degrading. But to my last statement, I keep
praying. Two real projects like that have structure, and that was both under that same deal, 20 Love, all that, yeah.
Alright, no.
Ben, everybody know Ben great. It wasn't no baby love for us. Ben decided to go straight into, because at the time, the record label Rockefeller was the hottest record label. Know what I mean? He liked the way Jay, I guess, I'm assuming he liked the way Jay ran and Dame ran their shit. So him and KK and all them ran it accordingly. Like they had us like Jay and Dame had Chris and Neef in them, and Oskino and State Property, you feel me? Ben, they had us in line, but Poppy was talking about Baby Love, but yeah, that Rockefeller them, then Ben and them branched off the youngins, the next coming, 4, 5, 6, which we were in that age bracket, know what I mean? But we ain't make it. That's gonna be part 2 of my shit. Then he had 1, 2, 3, all that, like for real.
I grew up in Nelm Court. I grew up around this area, Barber Street.
Lost identity, smoke till infinity, mind full of memories and a lot of Hennessy. Sat patient, plotting on victory, feeling like Malcolm and see, you know the deal, son, where niggas kill, son.
We had grass, we had white folks, we had Puerto Ricans, we had people that had, I remember they had chickens in the front yards. You understand what I'm saying? The difference is you have families that stuck together. My mother, if I fucked up outside, my neighbors couldn't whip me way home till my mother got home. I got a whooping from my mother, then I got another whooping with my father. There's no more community love. You see what I'm saying?
We like one of the smallest projects, but we stand out from a lot of projects because there was a lot of shit going on in that project. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a lot of old heads that can vouch for that. Like it's a lot of people that's dead from that. It's a lot of people that's in jail from that. And it's a lot of people that stepped away from that. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you got 3 different type of time. You feel what I'm saying? You got a good side, you got a negative side, and you gotta just step away from this shit. Like. But
I was just running around, man, as youth back then and looking up to them niggas. They was selling big dust, man. It was on a Maury show back then for that. With cameras chasing dust heads down. Niggas Google shit, do your research.
They've taken the community centers away. Only thing we got over here on the north end now is Parker. But back in the day, just like now, I love Sean Bell because Sean Bell keep the smooth league, the Nelm Court league going over in Parker.
Nelm Court was all right. It was competition on the basketball court.
It's crazy because we all just came together on some, like that shit was just weird. Like we all had chemistry with each other. We all was young shorties out here doing what we doing. We always knew each other. Like you from this hood, but you was doing something. But you from my hood, but you from another hood. You feel what I'm saying? Like we on Martin right now. Like you could be from West. It was probably like a few niggas from that hood that we deal with, or it was probably a few niggas from over here we deal with, or it's probably a few niggas. It's like that shit just crazy because we all just swarm together.
Yeah, fuck. You a project kid. I'm a project baby. God damn it. I'm good with a few Vienna sausages. I'm saying if we kicking it at your shit.
Cause I was an arrogant little nigga back then, man. And he just never let up on me. Like that's why I respect him as a person, and that's my people. Like.
Yo, the block is blinded, lots of violence. Since it's so thick that the love is hiding. No jobs, niggas get jacked. No gods, niggas want reps. Anything that you want comes with a test. Anything that walks is still made of flesh. So kill that, bruh. That's why I live the cage.
Chappelle.
We used to call it Hollywood Bricks.
4-1, bitch.
Chappelle was like considered middle class because you didn't have nobody over your head. You know, you had your, it was, I think it was duplexes or whatever. It wasn't.
All my life. I just turned 30 last year. Been here since I was born. My mother was here 10 years before I was born. So I was in the womb. I was in here. I was in the bricks.
Like when we grew up, as far as the projects were concerned, we all got along.
Right.
So we
In
all
our
we
era.
ran as
Right.
a unit. In our era, it's
Our
us.
era.
Bill was known for Chappelle. We together.
Yeah, they tryna get me fucked up.
Chappelle too. Chappelle shit. Chappelle, like I used to be at Chappelle all the time. That's like that's right up the street. So I used to be up there all the time.
Hollywood, that came from a group of gentlemen, younger guys. Like I said, one of them actually passed away. Shout out Gotti. But yeah, it was some of the younger guys that was coming up, I would say like in their teens, they wanted to be like, I don't know, I want to say they were kind of flashy. You know, they were the fly, fresh guys. My artist Fuego basically got a song, and one of the guys says that, you know, Chappelle niggas was always fly. And that's kind of where it always came from. And we used to have like another OG of mine, his name was Pretty Boy. Always had the flyest cars, nice license plates. So I kind of think that we all came up trying to be like Pretty Boy. So Pretty Boy kind of spawned that Hollywood lifestyle. And he was actually the first person I seen with a Hollywood license plate. So yeah, that definitely where the name came from. And it's funny, I just seen my cousin in the back. I remember he told this girl a line one time. She says, why they call it Hollywood? He said, that's where all the stars come from.
Right.
Westland.
I'm saying you got Western Street, which is West Hill.
It's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. It's a war.
Name Cinco. Grew up right here. We fought Western Street area, you know, from Merton. Grew up on Garden, Westland, Chappelle, shout out to niggas. You know, that's where I'm from. Keep in the tower.
Dear Father, what the fuck? Every time I turn around, another nigga getting touched.
Once the shit start getting real, when we got like 14, once niggas start dying and getting shot and shit, a lot of motherfuckers went to school. I was this, like, you feel me? We was from Western Street. We from West. You feel me? That West Side shit, that WACF shit, that was like niggas a little older than me and shit like that. You feel me? I mean, I'm from here, no matter what. West Side always produced. You feel me? I wasn't. By the time we was, that West Side shit was out, like niggas was calling that shit. We was BBB still shit. Then by the time we got a little older, niggas was straight from West, man. Like, you feel me? I'm from Western Street. That's all.
If you looking for peace, it's war outside, so keep your peace. It's a war going on outside.
The niggas used to have real brawls out here in front of my shop. I was like 8, 9 years old. You feel me?
No man is safe from. It's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. It's a war going on outside.
Cause like on some real shit, boom, if you really from the street, my nigga, no matter what you try to do, you're from there.
All my niggas out here quick to grab their gun.
When you in the hood every day, you're gonna be from there.
Motherfucking Info Street.
Infield.
My nigga fuck what they done told you. We buy that stove with baking soda. We chef it up, yeah, we serve it right. We family first, man, we down to ride. We grab that hammer, throw that clip inside. What? We put in work, we talking homicide. What? We on that strip, we don't never hide. We family first, man, we down to ride. We break the bricks down like Bruce Lee. Man, you know the game. Count paper that loose leaf.
It's a block, feel me? Infield they own block, but
Best memories, man. I was young, running down Mansfield Street, playing hide and go seek, or just riding our bikes and shit when we was young, and saying going to Kenny Park and shit, or going to play football with other blocks and shit, or we getting deep to go fight, or we going to steal some niggas' bikes, and we had bikes, but we still gonna go steal other people's bikes. Shit like that, feel me? Niggas got bikes, but fuck it, man, we gonna steal somebody else's bike, man. You know, just shit, doing shit like that, man, feel me?
Dirt on the camera, these coppers try to lock you in slammers. When I'm in that field, I put in that work, and these niggas come around and get smoked like a pump. My nigga.
But we trapped in the backyard, so if niggas did try to creep through here, we had wires with cans and shit, and we hit the shit. If niggas try to come through, creep through the yard and shit, that shit was to do. We'd throw trash cans and barricade the streets and shit. So when niggas come through here, they get trapped off and shit.
That clip inside. We put in work, we talking homicide. We on that strip, we on never high. Yeah, we family first, man, we down the ride.
You can't say no fan, you gonna say murder fan on Info Street. You just can't say it. Then call this shit C Block, man. You got motherfucking Greenfield. That's why you call it the field, Greenfield, Infield, and Manfield, man. That's the field, man. Man, ain't nothing like my hood, man. It's one of the most dangerous hoods in Hartford, man. Niggas know how it is, man. Back in days, niggas knew better to come through here, certain shit. Now niggas can ride through everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But you knew not to come through here, ride through here. You had any problems with somebody out here, you ain't coming through here. It was a fucking risk to ride through any one of these streets. You knew you had problems with niggas. So we on your ass.
Duck quick, and if you live, it was way more than luck. Biatch. All my niggas fire buck, and Champ Jones move loud like fire trucks.
My nigga fuck what Dana told you.
You had the Avenue.
So I went from Chappelle to the Avenue.
I was at Avenue, baby.
Right now we going down miles and we about to cut down Mag. Avenue.
Fresh out the rebel, a handful of pebbles or the tree, cause to me, you just can't.
You got the Avenue, that's like one of the livest hoods in the community. Cause when you come to Hartford, you gonna come on the Avenue. Even though the streets are shitty, but the Avenue is what it is, feel me?
That the fiends wanna hit. It's a rough past, that's hard to forget. A few comrades, that's hard to forgive. I dip and dive while I'm out for mines. I can't even lie, I'm trying to survive. And the eyes of guys reveal all the
right here, it's a lot of disease out here in these 9 blocks, bro.
Fake smiles, down to
you got motherfucking the 40, you got the Woods, feel me?
Town full of envy, I just sip on my brown, still it's empty. And this is how it goes, in a world so cold.
Like free niggas that ain't never come home, that's from right on these pavements, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mothers missing them, bro, like.
How it goes, in a world so cold. I stay on my toes, cause I don't trust the soul.
A lot of motherfuckers want to come join the ad because of the culture, you know what I mean, and because of what we represent over here.
Who can you trust within the discussion? Who can you trust if you
feel me? Like I said, it's nothing but family over here, you feel me?
Rest in, who could you trust around your queen? Who could you trust?
You know, everybody's ciphered out. Your family is not your family. Everybody with you when they need you.
Counting your cheese. Who could you trust during a storm? Who could you trust around your moms? Who could you trust to pop that off? Who could you trust to drop that off? Better yet, who trust in you to hold it down for the things that you said you do? Because and this is how it goes in a world so cold.
Right there, you know what I'm saying? On the yard. I'm from the Woods. I was born on the yard though.
Don't trust the soul.
You know, just out here playing. We ain't even had these black gates. It was a real fence. A tall fence. You feel me? Like, so niggas in the yard just cooling, playing whatever, a little cookout or something, a little block party or something going on. You know, shit like that. Regular shit.
Cause that's what niggas do. You understand me? I'ma get drunk. Cause that's what niggas do.
Up on Magnolia Street, 25 years right here.
Word.
Champ Jones.
Mag and the Avenue between Mag and Urban. You know, the heart of the hood, man. What's up?
Riding. Town business. West side shit. Yeah. Let me talk to the king. I woke up thuggin'. Pockets full of nothing, looking for something where everybody getting drugged and strung out. These niggas dumbing out. I'm praying, dear God, could you come now and save us? Nobody ever.
I was on Garden Street for like a few years.
All I wanna do is get mine and fuck bitches. All about digits. So I got a picture. If you hating niggas wanted, then boy, come and get it. I'm Hennessy sipping every day morning, cause this life.
Basically, everything at the Brook Street was Frozen Hell area.
To the game, I only do Henny. I'm true to that drink. My dudes in the Bing, green machines, back blocks, corner stores, fiending fiends. I seen some things, I made some moves, and now give a fuck, cause that's how niggas do. I'm all about dough, and I get hoes. I'm true to the game. Cat to my side with the yacht getting high. I'm true to the game.
Like the avenue, man, I love it here, man. This shit was cursed. They said some guy cursed it right there. You know what I'm saying? On the yard. I'm from the woods. I was born on the yard though. And this shit just cut though, man. Everybody for Del for the most part.
All about dough, and I get hoes. I'm true to the game.
But from Brook going back down this way to OT, that's the avenue. Then anything after OT, that was uptown.
Champ Jones. Pro. Uptown, West Side, Kent Street, uptown. You know what I'm saying? Like uptown niggas just got a whole different style. Still the avenue. You know me, it's still Hartford. Ain't nothing really different. Just the style of how niggas move. That's all. You know what I mean?
Wanna make it flip, got the soul of a hustler, mind of another. All I wanna do is keep it coming like I'm
growing up on uptown. Like I said, this a selling weed block. So come up and you just around a lot of hustlers, niggas you look up to, they on the block, you know. They got their jewelry, they nice cars, you feel me? Looking up to them dudes, you feel me? Memories like that.
back hoes like Goldie, and I'm getting head while I roll up a Ozy. You know me, pass my weed.
You can be on uptown. Everybody on uptown don't fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? You might have a group on Adam, you might have a group on Kent, you might have a group on Baltimore. It's just diverse. Everybody ain't coming together, you feel me? But it might be like that in every hood. It might not be like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just tryna lay back and get G. Yeah, get G.
You feel me? Shout out to Uptown forever. This avenue shit right here, bro. I lost the end of my life in here, bro. That's how I was in and out shorty since a shorty. No cap.
You at Bowles Park, Westbrook.
What up, though? What was your address when you lived out here, my nigga?
81 Nahim, 74 Nahim Drive. What up?
Well, name one of your best memories out here, my nigga, growing up.
Best memories? Damn. It's a lot. On some real shit. I had so many memories, my nigga. From skating on the ice in the middle of the field.
You remember we used to climb up there from the side? They had a green pole. They had a green pole. We used to climb up on the side of that shit. We would go up on top.
No, on some real shit. One of the memories. Motherfucking niggas set the woods on fire in the back, niggas set that shit on fire, bro. Swear to God, everybody got in trouble except me, cause I got out of there first. Listen, I'm out. What you talking about?
Like this used to be Bowles Park projects, and they was all brick buildings. Probably each building had like four apartments or something like that in it.
Yeah.
Bowles Park is nothing but love, man. Shout out all the way from the OGs to me to even the ones younger than me. We still hang out together, see each other, pull up. You know what I'm saying? I'm humble, that's my dog right there. I done caught up with him plenty of times outside of Bowles Park, and you know it's nothing but love. Tyrone, Q, everybody, you know. It's always just love. You always feel good every time you pull up.
Blood, even broke the last bread. Spoke truth and rose folks from the dead. Leading nature.
Because of the smaller number, like we a smaller number, but we more together. Like, you know, like it's tight knit. So like, even though it might be 5 of us, when we go places it'll be 30, 20, and we still equal out to them 30 or 20, even because we all 5 solid niggas. You know, feel me? We all like family oriented. We all respect each other, and that's how we build a solid foundation out here. And the respect and love, you can ask any hood out here. They all gonna tell you they got somebody from the projects they love and they fuck with heavy. Feel me? Just like the project nigga could tell you they got somebody from out there that they love and fuck with heavy. I think Berkeley was more the hustling strip, like more the niggas that was getting money, like constantly 24/7 all day. Like they didn't even want the young niggas over there because it used to get hectic with it, like running up the cars, catching licks, niggas possibly coming through shooting shit up. Like Nahum was more like it was a few older niggas like that time pass and shit like that, like or like niggas who probably moved into the projects and niggas don't really fuck with like that. Niggas let them hustle on Nahum and shit like that.
Yeah, you could play on Nahum.
You could play on Nahum and shit. Feel me? We had this right here.
Up there.
But that Berkeley strip was different. Like the Berkeley strip was basically, it kind of could be separated from the, like Nahum and Berkeley could be 2 different entities in the projects, but it's still all one because they all fuck with each other. We all fuck with each other. Feel me? Like, but that Berkeley strip was real where it got Grizzly at. Feel me? Where the goons and shit came up at, shit like that.
It's about time. Family first.
Shit. Before it used to be a field right here. We used to play tag and shit. Remember, it used to be a park in the middle. We used to run through this shit playing tag. It used to be a one-way right here where the older niggas used to, you know, get it in and shit at. We used to parlay with right here with niggas. They used to rank niggas, beat us up, everything, get us up and shit.
With the cape tucked in, 2 new bags, papers that blend, set in.
For this Boys and Girls Club, a lot of niggas wouldn't be living right now. Like,
real shit.
Like we was here, so we didn't have to be in the streets, my nigga. Like on some real shit. I done seen niggas get beat up right here in front of the Boys and Girls Club just cause they wasn't from over here.
Yeah.
Like, so just imagine what was going on outside of the projects. Like, you feel me?
And even
like,
that nigga that got beat up, they came back because there's so much love right here. That's crazy. They got beat up and came back.
Like, yo, I remember
that's when
I remember swapping them through the nigga through the glass right there. Like real shit, some older niggas came through. Yeah, like we was in high school. This was some older niggas that came through because somebody was fucking an older nigga girl, and we chilling right here. Them niggas came through. We got off the school bus. Next thing you know, we start banging with these niggas. Next thing you know, SWAT came through. Boom, boom, boom. Picked the nigga up and threw him through the window shit. And that shit got wiring through it, so he kind of got stuck in it. They had to pull him out of that shit. Feel me? That shit was crazy, feel me? Like, but shit, SWAT is a successful scholar right now, feel me? So that's what I said. This shit could either make you or break you. It all depends on the paths you take, feel me? Like, real shit, like.
I'm a king, I'm a god, I'm a don. My girl don't see the bling, all she see is the charm. I tell my daughter reach for the stars, cause in actuality, baby girl, that's what you
love, man.
Camp Jones. For my people. What it do, man? It's your man. From the land, listen, yo, got the blood of an immigrant, and since then, I've been living through crazy predicaments. Black or white, I got a knife, Luther Vandross, Barry White. I'm living through a flashback. When we had power, it was all black. Now it's powder, cooked to the hard crack. Yeah, I live where that hard at, and the brown dope that's around folks.
North End, not too big. It really go across like 4 main roads, like Albany Avenue, Main Street. Garden Street, gonna take you all the way through the North End, basically. Tower Avenue, and then Blue Hills Avenue. You feel me? That's basically it.
Moved over to the Blue Hills neighborhood.
Champ Jones. Yo, going through a gate, meeting up with fate, trying to stay fed and bless every plate. Every day it feels a little different, even though around the way where I'm living, babies cry, I'll probably die.
We separated from everybody. It's the last hood before you leave the hood, before you leave Hartford. The first hood when you hit Hartford. And unlike the other ghettos, you know what I'm saying, this don't run into everything. You got to come out your way to come up here and figure out what's going on. So if you don't know what's going on over here, you ain't gonna think nothing going on over here.
Sleep, I'm probably high. I paint pictures, choose a brush, and I can show you the way others looking at us.
I tell people for years, man, just because you don't hear shit don't mean shit don't happen. I'm talking about we go through the same bullshit as everybody else. The difference is we ain't gotta, y'all don't hear about it. We go through our own shit, civil warfare. That's what I'm on.
Some in disgust, but oh well, and feel good in the back of the bus. I walk with pride against the tide, old in the soul and the G of my mind. If you felt pain, I'll probably make
down in the trenches, you feel me? This ain't the trenches, it's the hood. This ain't the ghetto, it's the hood. You feel me? Nice residential area, 73rd. It's low income, but not a lot of low income. It's just families struggling to get by, middle class families struggling to get by. You venture off down to the other areas and shit, you got low income motherfuckers and you got hoods that run into other hoods instead of 30 you in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different, it's a little more shit, you know what I'm saying, it goes down, but it's all the same shit. Over here, just isolated, so like I said, you don't hear about it. We go through more bullshit than a little bit. Shit, in this spot where we standing at right now, niggas just came through and clicked on me, man. My boy house got bullet holes in that shit right now from that shit. That shit just happened.
mine. If you needed 8, I probably gave 9. I bent my spine for the world to climb, so I feel inclined to be the greatest of my time. What more can you ask for? I did it. What more can you ask for? I'm living. What more can you ask for? I'm giving. I'm going.
They started calling the Killer Hill. People don't know this shit. They started calling it Killer Hill because of the killer dust that was up here. It was the dust that was up here, motherfucking. It was the killer bags. They started coming up here for that shit. Started calling it that, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Down the line, I think down the line, motherfucking, you know, had a few with the Whoops. You know, shit come along with the name. You know what I'm saying? A couple people dropped. But shit, nigga, my generation, we don't call that shit Killer Hill. Up the way, North 187, man, straight up. What the hell? That Killer Hill shit was a generation before us.
And I won't stop, no. What more can you ask for? I did it. What more can you ask for?
Shout out the way real quick, you feel me? Place that took me in. This is my adopted home right here. I moved from the West Coast over here and I was adopted by the block.
And the Sands are square.
My family moved into Bellevue Square in 1942, and we were there until 1949.
Well, I can speak for Bellevue Square. I don't know about the other projects. There's one thing. We was one family. We was one family. Everybody took care of everybody. Everybody mother looked out for everybody child.
Her house was like the whole project house. You know, if you was out there and you ain't had no, matter of fact, we used to have so many folks live with us, man. It was crazy because my mother used to take in all my sister friends that ain't had no way to go, and possibly my brothers that ain't had no way to go. They friends. So we stayed loaded up.
There was no child. If they seen a child doing anything wrong, they discipline them and they let their mothers know that they've been disciplined and everything. So that's why everybody in Bellevue Square came up righteous.
I remember being in a play with her, and she pulled my ear a couple of times because I didn't do it exactly the way she wanted me to, but I wouldn't go home and tell my mother because I knew I would get a spanking. And I think that she is still doing quite a job in the Bellevue Square area and all over the community.
Mrs. Reed has lived in Bellevue Square since 1941, when the development was new and considered something of a show place.
Oh. And the same as Bellevue Square, and that's why Bellevue Square, people been there longer because they were closer to where black people were originally from, which was sort of like Front Street, which isn't there no more, which was where Constitution Plaza is now. So they went from Front Street to Bellevue Square. Then once Bellevue Square got filled up, they ended up moving them to actually Nelton Court and Stowe Village or whatever. So depending on when you came up from down south.
And right now to this day, everybody that's from Bellevue Square, we got love for each other. We like brothers and sisters. When we see each other, it's mad love. We, no beefs, no nothing. It was just love. We was one big family. Spanish, we had Spanish, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese. We had all kind of cultures living in Bellevue Square, and we took care of everybody. We looked out for everybody. Wasn't nobody exempt. We was a family.
When you was, let's say, like not even a teenager yet, but a young boy, man, how would you describe the atmosphere and community life of Bellevue Square?
Remember it clear as day. We had a whole lot of groups seemed like in Bellevue Square, like the older dudes or the surrounding areas was like people like the Black Panthers or Peace Stone Nation, stuff like that. And how I seen firsthand how they, the older dudes used to get together and how that lunch program was put together through breakfast and all that stuff, how they put that together, how they used to take care of us inside that project, how they used to, police Bellevue Square themselves. It wasn't like the police could come in Bellevue Square back in those days and just do what they want like they do now and all these other projects and streets and all that stuff. Now back then, you wasn't doing all that. You know what I mean? You come in armed, they was already armed. Yeah. Stop you at the gates, brother. You're not on here. We don't need you. We already handled it. Bye. You might want to get up out of here while you can. It was like that back in those days. They may not want to admit it, but that's how it was. The square was like one of them places you couldn't do a whole lot of playing unless it was playing time. When they was about their business, they handled their business the best, as far as I'm concerned.
Champ Jones. Yo. Institutions got me on the.
They had a lot of teachers down there. They had a lot of folks down there that taught you how to survive, how to deal with folks, how to deal with your brothers and sisters, how to deal with the enemy, how to deal with your friends. They taught you all that. They also had down there a guy by the name of Johnny Duke. Johnny Duke was a white man. They had a boxing club down there. Right there smack in Bellevue Square.
I'm going now. Hey, you called me, huh? You called me? Huh? Hey, you called me? When?
The square, you come up boxing or whatever, you can go box or some shit like that. We have.
At the end of the day, put together the best boxers, the best athletes in Connecticut.
It seems I was born on a bench till I rose on my feet and I had to catch wind. Moving quick like the gingerbread man, holding some shit that'll injure man. I'm in demand, let me supply it. On a strip with a team full of riders. Bamboo, no easy riders. Champ on, go and get your binders. I'll remind ya who the best is. You can find them on the West End, where it's roaches, rat infested. Every day another gat.
When did you bump into and what role did Brother Carl play in your upbringing?
Brother Carl was in our upbringing, man, from the go, man. That dude just seemed to just be around. Like they started this school over there called SAND. It was S-A-N-D, like S.A.N.D. SAND, you know, they started a little school down there for the little black kids, man. And Brother Carl was one of them dudes. Him, John Wilson, a bunch of other guys, right? Brother Carl was always just seemed to be somebody that was all the way around. And what Brother Carl used to do back then was like, it was like he was a very peaceful dude. You know, a dude that, you know, not like Martin and them guys, or Brother Carl was a mix between Malcolm and Martin in the bed. He wasn't out there teaching violence, but he wasn't out there teaching how to get your ass beat. No, we from the square, we need to win. We ain't gonna hurt her, but we gonna hurt her. You know, just don't tell her. Brother God, don't go to school, get an education, try to get a job, or educate yourself, have a better life. That was Brother Kyle teaching. And you know, Brother Kyle, he is who he is, man. He, like one of them dudes that you could say is the heartbeat of this city, man. You know, whether you like him or love him.
New York residents, do you reside here and you live here and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I stay here year round. I'm from Connecticut. So I'm up the road, so you know, I got traded here. I just live here year round up in Westchester.
Okay, all right. So you ready for this year, baby?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get started in like 2 weeks. Actually, we get started in like 2 weeks, so I'm ready.
How was it when you was a teenager growing up?
Good. It was just, you know, rough little gangs and all that, but it was all right.
What gangs was around when you was a kid?
Family Connection, Hustlers, Ghetto Brothers, Savage No Man, Latin Locals. Wasn't no 20 Loves then.
Was it 20 Love?
Nope. Ghetto Brothers, Family Connection, Blackstone Rangers,
yeah.
Hustlers, and the Orgy and all that when I grew up.
Wasn't Magnificent
Magnificent
20s
20s?
back then?
Yeah.
Magnificent 20s, yeah, Magnificent 20s.
I think the Magnificent 20s might have started around the Sands and Beverly Square area, if I'm not mistaken. In Main Street, that area over there, them projects over there. If I'm not mistaken, I think it started over there somewhere.
The thing is, see, now there's a difference between now you have the Magnificent 20s and you have 20 Love. That's a difference. The Magnificent 20s was taking care of their community and everything. The 20s, that's a gang thing. That's a jail gang thing, and that's totally different. So when I see young kids out here and they represent the 20s, they saying Magnificent 20s, I have to correct them. You in the 20s, you're not a Magnificent. Magnificent is about taking care of your community, taking care of your hood, taking care of where you came from, taking care of the people that's around you.
During our time coming up as Magnificent 20s, no one has ever gotten killed. No, I mean, folks might have died, but it wasn't because of any injuries we caused. We didn't cause their death. People might have naturally died. But that being said, no, we might have whooped your ass.
What's up?
I'm gonna tell you how that got started. A lot of dudes don't tell you this. And we had an older version before us. But the one that I was a part of, came about after one day. These folks used to come through our project, right? Going on their way home to Windsor, going home to the suburbs and all that. And we used to catch them at the light, and open up their doors and just snatch their pockets. So one day we did that, and it was about 5 or 6 of us. So when we get down in the hallway, we search the pocketbook and all that stuff, and it's like, damn, man, we did all that, man, no money in this joint, sling the pocketbook away, you know what I mean? And I'll never forget my man Curtis Lockhart, when they picked up the pocketbook that we slung away, and went to ramming through it and found a secret compartment. Man, dude pulled out 11 $100 bills. Now, you know what that looked like in 1973? How much money that was, man? That was around 73 or 74. $1,100 bills, man. We looking like, oh shit. And for some reason, while everybody was, after we split up the money, for some reason, I started thinking about what we could do with the money, right? And I always liked my jacket that I got from Johnny Duke when we used to fight down at the Diller Stadium, right? It was gold and black. Now the 20s before us jacket was like black and white. And for some reason I said, man, let's go buy some jackets, man. And start again. Older dudes that was there, Steve, Babe, you other dudes, Curtis and them, they looking at me like, what's up, man? I said, man, listen, man. Let's start a gang, man. We could be the Magnificent 20s, man. All of a sudden, it was reborn. Had the jackets made, came out, folks loved them, everybody liked them, we started recruiting, and that's the beginning of the history of the Magnificent 20s, man.
Remind me of the Magnificent 20s or whatever.
Do this, at that time, what did it take to be a Magnificent 20? Did y'all have like a fighter? Had an initiation process?
Yeah, you had to be a fighter, man. We weren't going to just let we let some chumps in. Yeah, we let some chumps in, man. But there was chumps that would fight. It wasn't that you couldn't fight. It just that you weren't the best fighter. But you was all right with us. As long as you fought back. As long as you ain't run. You could be a magnificent twin. You know, everybody can't lead. Everybody don't have to fight. But man, if you were magnificent 20 to me, it was like shit, you was on equal foot with everybody up in here. Now, you may not come call the shot. You don't have to.
The Magnificent 20s, you familiar with that name?
Familiar with the name. That was before my time. When I was a kid, I knew the name, but I didn't know who was in it or whatever.
Magnificent 20s.
The old school back in the day, they was the old school. You know, they mostly the head branch, but then they branched out to the younger crew. You know what I mean? They was down people. You know what I mean? They ran shit. You know what I mean? They handled their business. They were straight people. You know? Well, I was around. I just came to Hartford around then. You know, from the halfway house. But you know, they good people. You know what I mean? I got along with them. They got along with me. You know what I mean? So you know.
What you heard about their reputation?
They didn't take no shit, I tell you that. You know what I mean? They stood up for what they believe, and they didn't fluctuate. You know what I mean? They stand on what their principles they stood on. You know, they were well organized. You know what I mean? And well structured. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? They were good brothers, man. You know what I mean? As long as you did right by them, they did right by you. You know, but if you stepped on their toes, then you had something to deal with. That's all. You know?
As long as you heard them, you ever heard about them using guns, or they was strictly with hands?
They were those with their hands. They wasn't really about gun shit. You know what I mean? They gave head ups. You know what I mean? Hey, they didn't hold no grudge. I mean, we handled our business. Whoever came out and talked, we respected that. You know what I mean? It's not like now, anything go out, want to get a gun on and shoot. You know what I mean? Best way to handle with hand. You know what I mean? That's how you get your respect. Gun don't give you no respect. You know what I mean? But stand up with your hand, like we back in the days, that's the respect.
So let me ask you this: what territories you remember their names being around when you heard of them?
I heard it come from W Square and all that stuff.
Charter Oak, the North End. You know what I mean? They was all over the place though. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. You know, I'm old school too, man. Back in the days, that's what I live by. You know, that's all I really know.
So if you could, man, just give a shout out to the Magnificent 20s in the documentary to him, man.
All right, what's up, brothers? You know what I mean? Keep it real, keep it strong. You know what I mean? You always been true to what you believe. Keep it real. Love you.
But if you were Magnificent 20, man, you was king.
You had certain hubs. It wasn't all these in Marvin Street.
That was, I ain't even gonna lie. That's mine. I gotta think way back.
All right, so I'm gonna put it to like this, right? How would you feel if I told you before they named this street Mother Street, it was called Nigger Lane? Nigger Lane.
That's deep. And a lot of people wouldn't even understand that.
There wasn't all these other side streets going on. Saying how you got now. Saying at Martin Street, that's about it. It wasn't all these little, now you got mad different blocks everywhere now. It wasn't all these other blocks going on in the motherfucker in the 90s and shit. It wasn't. You only had certain blocks. Saying? So now it's a bunch of blocks now. Every street damn near trapping now. It's different crews now. You ain't have, there's a lot of new blocks now that wasn't blocks in the 80s and the 90s. A lot of these blocks are 2000 blocks. Saying? Or late 90s. Saying? Whatever. Like the original blocks, them was like the original blocks. Saying? Besides the Southland blocks, you got Zion.
You heard? I'm a real nigga. My nigga Baby Us, baby. I got you, baby. And I'm gonna send you motherfucking, I got you, nigga. I ain't forget about you, nigga. Real niggas do real shit. I know about this shit, nigga. We bleed for this shit, nigga. You heard?
And Lawrence Street, the law, feel me?
Alright, now, so on a little historical tip, I was told back in the day it was two crews out here, I think in the late 80s. I want to know if you had any knowledge about them, the Ghetto Brothers and the Savage Nomads.
That's homage, man. 110, you heard? Enough said about that.
Those were the big three. It was the Avenue. Like I said, it was the Ville. And it was Park Street.
Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got me sitting back. Nigga, how they cook the fireways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got me sitting back. Money how I'm killing fireways. Fresh out the asylum, crushing my straight jacket. When my car goes on and my weeks trying to match it. Trapping all nighters, I ain't sleeping on the mattress. I've been up all week for the money, I'm an addict. All about my cabbage, cocaine in my attic.
Little motherfucker, how old are you?
I'm 30.
I'm older than you. 35.
Word.
So, the new population right now, they will, if I tell them to kill, they gonna kill.
Paranoia setting in, all the spread I'm getting make the neighbors start to panic. Try and interrupt my traffic, road rage, automatic, don't play, I'm a savage. I don't really like to argue, I let my Ruger do the talking. Niggas rushing in for a couple sex, catch you getting out of pocket. Hearing voices in my head telling me to pop it. But it's a million ways to die and you can pick the best option. Execution style if the beef was really nothing. Something more extreme to get you church up for some months. Fuck around and get your whole arm pulled right out the socket. Thinking just because you chilling in public, you safe, you bugging. Red spot on your head, connect the dot from the rooftop. Cops don't got nothing.
The Solitos was going in hard.
Got the drop on the dude saying they knew something. Popping bottles, popping perks, saying do something. Plug came, left this rock, said who something.
I don't know this man, but I knew he was gonna mention the side.
Before Park Street was Park Street, before I even moved to the from the corner of Park and Zion when it was a pizza shop, was now the Cubanito Bakery. From old school to that, Crazy Carmen, my mom and them nomads saw me grow up.
That's right.
So, you know, it's
That's
hard
what I'm
for
saying.
me.
So at the end of the day, you see what it is in the streets. You see what it is. When the bro mentioned Latin Kings, Solitos is Savage Nomads, Ghetto Brothers. At the end of the day, I told you, I'm always tell you the truth, and the proof is in the streets. You gotta go out, and you can't be scared to look for the shit.
No, because it's always there, brother. Let me keep going.
Go ahead, talk up on your head, think before you lose something, think before you lose something.
Man, when I got shot, guess. That's a big challenge. I feel like I can do nothing. I was like, you know, gotta go back to who I am. That's a big challenge that I have, really. You know what I mean? My body's my temple. So without it, I feel like I can do shit.
Broad Street, feel me?
When it come to beef, man, you know a nigga down to play. Man, you know I get it poppin'. Got a lot of guns, which one a nigga bout to spray? That's my QB option. Catch his ass slippin', man, you know I'm bout to rock him. Treat him like the door, and you know I'm bout to knock him. Put him in my aim, and you know I'm bout to lock him. Head got the flying, but his body got the dropping. We stashed that body by that creek. Oh, it's so sad. Neighbors ain't seen him for weeks. Put the clothing in the mask. Stashed a hammer in that Jeep. All my wolves out here hungry and my niggas smelling sheep. Boy, so watch them words and
is that you got Latin Kings coming down from like Park Street and Broad Street.
which you speak, cause my niggas out here holding and we won't make a peep. Walk up on your late night, put your brains by your sneaks. Then I'm pissing on my hands, nigga, right by the sink. Killer, nigga, nigga. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got me sitting back. With the Heineken sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got my mind sitting sideways. Got me sitting back.
Evergreen nigga. Family first foundation. West side. It's a homicide thing, man. Hartford 860. Stand up.
Girl, your shit so classic, it don't need no features. Ooh, baby, come give me something. Baby, come give me some.
These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. Nah. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. Nah. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that full to roar. Nah, 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 nah. They ain't ready for them killers to be at the door. Nah, 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 nah. They ain't ready when we pull up in that full door. Nah, 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 nah. When we cockin' back, aiming out that window. Nah, 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 nah. What the fuck these niggas talking about? All my niggas will chalk you out. A bullet hit your head, make it have a spout. 100-round drum, make it walk it out. Half you don't even know what drama about. I make this shit hot like a sauna out. I pull my gun up out the pouch. I start passing bullets and hit they route, nigga. Why y'all niggas playing games? Till y'all end up in my aim. That 40 rock, you feel that flame. Yo ass to drop like we do this king, nigga. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. Nah. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready. These niggas ain't ready for that walk. Nah, these niggas ain't ready for that walk. They ain't ready.
On the block with ready, rockin' steady, pockets heavy, pocket rocket, cocked already, armed and ready to put the 40 to your chest, armed steady, pop your top like John Kennedy, been here, longevity, Steph Curry, pull up bomb, anything, pull up on enemies, they are not a threat to me, nothing more than just a bother, don't bother testing me, goofy niggas trying to get the best of me, I cook up and gave them the recipe, when I look up and see who is next to me, they're the ones When I win, who'll get everything? Go to war for my niggas, no second guessing. Stay down with my niggas playing in them trenches. Made our way in the game, used to play them benches. Now me and my niggas, we getting mentioned. Most valuable players, honorable mention. I really don't pay it too much attention. 1 million views pay me for attention. Doing shows or venues pay me for attendance. My niggas get money, you barely spend it. In the club VIP, you can barely get it. Ferragamo on these True Religion denim. Holding up the standing still, Smith & Wesson.
These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk.
They ain't ready.
These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk.
They ain't ready.
These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk.
They ain't ready.
These niggas ain't ready for that walk. These niggas ain't ready for that walk.
They ain't ready.
Where we at, bro?
We on 7 Trade, you know. 7 Trade, man, from hillside, this hillside, from Park Terrace down to like Flatbush, but I fuck with all the way to NBA and further, the whole hillside, you know, the strip.
We on the strip.
This where we at, baby.
Then you got Dutch Point.
Family first found gay. 4-1, bitch. Keep that heat on me wherever I go. Keep that heat on me outside, it be cold. I keep that heat on me, you know how we roll, man. I keep that heat on me, I ride illegal. Keep that heat on me wherever I go. Keep that heat on me outside, it be cold. Keep that heat on me, you know how we roll, man. I keep that heat on me, I ride it.
What's good, bro? Let the niggas know, man, who I'm speaking to right now, man.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Flyboy Quan, formerly known as Flyboy Bucks, but it's Flyboy Quan now.
So let me know, man. Let me know where we located at right now, brother.
Right now, we in Dutch Point. I mean, shit ain't the same out here, but this store's still the same. Same people still own it from what's the PJs, it's still the PJs, you know? Dutch Point Corner Store, the bodega.
So since we on the topic of Dutch Point, man, let me know some of your best childhood memories growing up out here.
Man, I tell you, I went to school right there. Kinsella right behind this shit. Me and my niggas up to no good. No, it ain't even that we was up to no good.
You're a Ryan egg.
We found a bag of weed. We like, man. I remember, I'm like, man, I know niggas smoke this shit in brown stuff. They be rolled up in something brown. Why the fuck? We came to the corner store, bought a bunch of candy, so we get that brown paper bag. We got that brown paper bag and tried to roll the weed in it. This shit was just stupid. We ain't know what we was doing. But that's a memory I'll never forget out here. We went right back there. There's a little playground. We hopped the fence, went on the playground, was trying to smoke weed. Something I'll never forget out here.
At that time, man, what was your household structure like?
My household structure, shit. Mama was always a single parent. But my aunt lived out here, so she found it convenient while she was at work for me to go to my aunt's house after school. So it's family. But families wasn't always that close. I was close to my grandmother on my mother's side. Knew who my grandmother was on my father's side, but father wasn't really there. But his sisters was. What up, boss? His sisters was. So my uncle was always there for me. My uncle was one of the realest niggas you would see out here, from out here. OG nigga for real. But that's another memory. It's bringing up family and memories. My uncle, they always told me how to fight. He was better know how to fight. I guess somebody right here at this store had gave him a hard time, a kid around my age. So he told me, yo, that kid right there on that bike in front of the store, go whoop on my ass. I'm looking like, what? He said, man, go whoop on my ass. I put on my sneakers like, you serious? I said, man, go outside. So I go outside. This nigga shut the door, locked it, looked out the window and said, you ain't coming back in until you whoop on my ass. I came over here and whooped on my ass. I didn't even know why.
Champ Jones, the people's champ. Cock and squeeze, pop in a breeze, stuck in a box. I feel I can't leave. Felt a lot of pain. I feel I can't bleed. Critics on my back. I feel I can't breathe. A panther, low in the trees. Clip full of ammo for my enemies. Living two lives, just oneness in a being. I'm going in strong and God can't intervene.
Just think it's negativities and gangs. Even though we do know those exist, what do you think was some of the positive outlets that at least Dutch Point provided for y'all as a youth, or for the youth as well that was coming up?
Positive. Going back to us, being brothers, I think that's a positive thing. I think a lot of the resources that were coming down into the project at the time, I want to say once I got into high school, Brother Carl came down. A lot of people know Brother Carl in the city of Hartford. And at the time, his program was called Hartford Youth Peace Initiative. And his job was Brother Carl's basically that guy that gets thrown into the fire. So, hey, listen, we got these two gangs that's killing each other. We need you to go down there and figure out what's happening. And so, sending him down here, because of what was happening, was one of the positive things ever for me, because it took me out of the hood, to be honest. That was the first time that I could sit here and say, once I got under his wing, that I left Dutch Point. Dutch Point, when you coming down Hartford, it's kind of down on the hill. And so we always looked at it as, everybody, you are up the hill guy, just because you're not from down here. And if you wasn't from our project, we wasn't messing with you. So it took a little bit for us to let him in, but as soon as we understood why he was here and what was his purpose, he took me under his wing, man, and really just showed me that there's a lot more to the city and outside of Connecticut. So that was one of the positive things. And then after him, Boys and Girls Clubs came down. So I got to meet, Jackie Badia, and she gave me a job with them and showed me that there's a different way of making money and being positive within your own neighborhood. And that kind of, started my story from there, working with kids. I mean, we was kids and a fiend came down. She had a brand new Pontiac. So the way I learned how to drive was, she had a brand new Pontiac. She literally, the thing was probably like months old. And she overdosed because she bought some cane in the hood, went back to her car, she overdosed. 2 days later, her body's still there, car still parked. So us as kids, we go check on it, we pull her out. And then now that's our car, we driving it around, literally. And to be able to go back to that, hopefully it'll never get to that. And then obviously you got to show the nose.
What would you say would be the difference between Dutch Point and Sheldon Oak, in your opinion?
Dutch Point bigger. It's more space, but bro, niggas in both projects.
you got Dillon right there. Like, that's another hood right there.
So, when you was mentioning earlier between the 4 projects in this area and the Sheldon Charter Oak area, what would those 4 projects consist of?
Consist of like when we came together with each other, or just in general?
Yeah,
like,
just geographically, yep.
A lot of hustling, honestly. A lot of hustling and a lot of low-income families who parents are, you know, majority moms, honestly. A lot of moms who are single and can't afford to live to get their own house, and now they got to settle for being in the project. That's what it consists of to me, you know.
But I seen an article about the carnivals they used to have, and I guess Dutch Point used to get into it a lot with Park Street.
Yeah. So the carnival used to actually be here. That carnival that we get now, and they do it down there over at Pool Park now. It used to be here. So the problem is that you got Latin Kings coming down from like Park Street and Broad Street, and then you got Dutch Point, you got 20 Loves and Solidos in Dutch Point. And so now when you put a carnival together next to the hood and everybody want to come together to have a good time, what's gonna happen? You know, eventually somebody's gonna look at somebody, girl, or he said, she said, or, you know, yo, that's the dude we've been looking for right there. And then now there goes a lot of the problems that are being started, you know, just because of that. And honestly, a lot of that stuff because of females. A lot of guys fighting because of females and stuff like that, and getting locked up because of it, and just didn't want to let it go. You know, a lot of petty stuff. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, man. Well, we was already touching on it a little bit earlier, but I want to ask you, when it was during the 90s and Hartford was experienced that gang epidemic, how was that affecting the Dutch Point community?
Big, because so I mean, you know, obviously everybody has their own story, but for me, both of my brothers were in 2 different gangs. Obviously Javi, who passed away, was the president of the 20 Love down here in Dutch Point, and he ran the chapter down here. And then my brother Marcus, who's still, you know, he's still with us, he was a Solido. And so it kind of it split the project, to be honest. Half of the hood was, if you were solid and you were rocking your red and blue, and that was your side, and then other side was 20 Love and you was wearing your green and black, and you know, it split us up. So as we started getting older, what started happening is that a lot of our friends started getting involved in that stuff. So now our clique went from being, you know, say 30 deep to now it's probably 15 of us, just because people are starting to get involved in that, and you know, starting to see the drug money is making money, and some of them started dropping out of school and stuff. So I mean, it's a part of the project, man. That's something that you got to grow up with, and it happens. You know, we sit here and say we wish we could go back and make things different, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys, if they were here, the ones who passed away, and even now, you know, a lot of them, if they're locked up or out now, I'm pretty sure if they look back at the way they did things then they would probably do it different now. But the hood was designed like that, though. It was designed for us to battle each other, and wasn't nobody coming in to question that or challenge it. And then, you know, us being kids, that's what we saw. I mean, yesterday I was watching the new Biggie documentary that came out, and I'm sitting there telling myself, you know, I'm listening to the album, and I'm like, damn, I was listening to this as a kid, you know, and Biggie's talking about something, he ready to die, and you know, I'm looking at my daughters, and I'm like, they never understand this, but like, this is what I grew up to, you know, and I'm listening to it in the music, so now you coming out here and you seeing it every day, it's a part of your everyday routine, you know, so now you start thinking that way. And so a lot of that plays a big factor in a lot of decisions that people make, you know.
When it came down to the time for Dutch Point to be knocked down, how did you feel about it? Was it a blessing, or was it one of those situations with sorrow?
It was sorrow, man. I was heartbroken. I didn't want it to end, honestly. I felt that, you know, at the time so when they started talking about breaking down the project and moving people out, you know, my mom was honestly like one of the last ones that left the hood. So I kind of saw, you know, people leaving and leaving and leaving, where it got to the point where now all the doors are being chained up and woods all over, you know, the windows are being all wooded down and everything. So it was a sad day, man, because you look at it as, you know, the bond that you built with your friends and the brotherhood that you have is now gone, and you know, to be able to have to move somewhere else and trying to find new friends and build that friendship that you once had and start all over again, you know, that's a whole nother dynamic in itself. And then you don't know what the future holds for you, you know, like honestly, for me, I moved out at an early age, so, you know, I was still kind of coming back to visit my mom, and I would stay with her here and there, but I became a father at an early age too. You know, I was just getting out of high school when I became a dad, and so me and my wife had to grow up and mature a lot faster than a lot of other people did, and so, you know, kind of had to start my own family. But yeah, man, I was heartbroken. You know, to this day, man, I'm telling you, you know, you come down here and you look at it and you wish it was still there. And you wish you could go back and relive it and do it again, even if it's just for a day. You know, I would do it.
Remember your address?
Yeah, so we first lived in 36H, and Dutch Point was broken up in rows, and 36H was a bigger apartment because at the time my brother Javi was alive still, and then after he got killed, we moved to 27B, which was closer to the church. So it was one less bedroom just because, you know, he got killed there. I guess they figured that we didn't need the extra bedroom, so they moved us to a smaller unit. Brother Carl, Jeannie. Jeannie also ran the program with Brother Carl at the time. I think she lives like in DC now. I keep up with her through social media and stuff. Her kids are like my age. Jackie Bethia, my mom, any other parent who had any involvement, you know, from my friends and stuff that would sit me down and talk to me. In high school, Steve J. Steve J is well known in Hartford. He's a Jernigan guy. A lot of the Jernigans are his sons. But when I was in high school, he would talk to me a lot, always pull me to the side, kind of that father figure while I was in school that I didn't have. So a lot of those guys kind of molded me into the man that I am today, honestly, and I grew up a lot faster because of them. I was still in high school when I was taking a lot of the guys that, you know, Lil Pups, Gil, and those guys, Muji, Brandon, a lot of the younger ones, and I would load them up in my car and put them in tournaments and stuff like that just to get them out the project and get them to see something different. And me, a kid, not knowing what I'm doing, You know, literally, I had this big Bonneville, and I would load them in that thing, and we would go out to like New Britain and travel around just to get them up out of here so they could get a different experience and play some competition. But a lot of those guys molded me into doing stuff like that and being that type of person that I became.
Ain't try to old, then Rice Heights, feel me?
Kenneth Major.
Champ Jones. One Nation.
I'm Dwayne Fernandez, but you know everybody know me as Monk in Hartford. Everybody was my age. I mean, I went to Buckley High School and Prince Tech. I played basketball for Prince Tech. I came along with the High Towers out of Tyrone, and then you say Weaver, you know that was Baldy and Kenneth Bean, and what's his name, Kevin Shannon, and you know Harvard High at Tony Canby. I mean, you know, I came along with all of them guys, but I was quiet. You know, I spent a lot of time in the North End though, because my mother's a Newkirk, and anybody who knows Newkirk, they know that Drew at Newkirk was his mother. My uncle passed away, but he played for Weaver. He played for Weaver way back with Nick Oliver.
Day-to-day trials. Trying to make it out. Trying to find a route.
They just had this stigma about, you know, child terrorists. But then when you talk to somebody from the North End, they would say that was out in the woods and it wasn't all that bad. But it wasn't that bad when we were little kids. You could leave your doors unlocked. But by the mid-70s, shoot, you couldn't leave nothing unlocked. You couldn't leave clothes hanging out on the clothesline. Because remember the old clothesline? Couldn't do that.
Yeah. It's a shame, the script that we living out, and the pain that everybody giving out. Seems like life ain't cherished. Niggas.
If you made that kind of money, like $20,000, that was a lot of money.
So even at that time, with the number outweighing the ratio as far as Caucasians to blacks and Hispanics, were there any situations in which racial tensions would be manifested in these areas?
Yeah, when they killed Martin Luther King got killed. I remember we were sitting on the step, and my mother and father was sitting in, we had the station wagon, they were sitting in the station wagon listening to the 8-track tape. And I remember it was real smoky, you know, and looked like you know, something was on fire. And then it wasn't just me, it was me and my brothers and sisters. So my mother looked out the window of the car and she saw the smoke, and it was tear gas. It was tear gas. They were firing off tear gas, and because they were rioting, that's when they tore Albany Avenue too. You know, and a lot of the people never came back to Albany Avenue. A lot of the businesses never came back after that. But I mean, when you say racial tension, there was an incident when I was a teenager where a white guy shot a Spanish guy, and they had to take his family out of there. They tore the house up. You know, people tore the house up, tore up the cars. You know, he did it in broad daylight. One thing I will say is, you know, you've seen a lot of crime. A lot of crime by the late 70s, early 80s. Not just Charter Oak, but Hartford. When was it Mayor Carrie Saxon Perry was the mayor, I remember her saying that small counties, Hartford was like number 4, number 3 poorest cities in the country. So it was a lot of crime back
Get body cause somebody felt embarrassed. Let me guess, you could care less cause it's all about money, fame and sex. This game is a mess, I'm just coming clean. If you're black, you're trapped in the land of the free. Until the republic for which it stands, committed to genocide, killing other sides. They gave
with the demographics. I'm gonna take a little step further. With the first initial bricks being laid, if you will, do you recall the initial first residents of that particular area?
Okay, I do. You know what? They used to run on a lottery. My mother said this to the day she died. It used to be like one black family to, I think it was 4 or 5 white families, because I do remember there was not a lot of black families. You had to make a certain amount of money, and it was there was a few Spanish families. But she always said that my father made too much money working at Pratt Whitney, and but he had a lottery, lottery, and they really didn't want us there, and that was, like I said, I was born in '60 there. So when you look at back in the '50s, my grandfather, he worked at Fafner Barron, which used to be across the street off of New Park Avenue, where there used to be a Volkswagen dealership on New Park Avenue, Intimate Bakery, because my grandfather worked at Intimate Bakery too. And then, back then, if you made that kind of money, like $20,000, that was a lot of money.
niggas flags, called it gang tides. 2 different paths, straight suicide. I once knew a guy who once preached for peace. His whole life changed once he lost his niece. From 2 gunshots, no help from police.
Again, it goes back to you're either sheep or wolf in sheep clothing. And it's survival, It was 20 Love, no, the Magnificent 20, Ghetto Brothers. Who else? Los Solitos.
A weekend night in the projects. Family time for Los Solitos. Few gang members actually make a lot of money selling drugs. What they do get here is a sense of belonging. They accept each other. They share tattoos, wear the colors, red and blue, and the special Los Solitos metal link belts. But even George admits this is one family where children don't belong.
Lion Kings, the Emperors, Blackstone Rangers. There was a lot of gangs.
Like I tell young dudes now, Hartford don't even look like it was when I was a kid, let alone when you was a kid, right?
Yeah, it's something because, when I was born in Charter Oak in 1960, but my grandmother lived in Charter Oak in 1950. So my mother's youngest brother, my uncle, who's down here now, he was born in Charter Oak. So, and then I was born, me and my brothers and sisters were born in Charter Oak. And then my first son, his address is 257. When you hear me say 257, Hard Knocks 257, that's where we was born on Cotswold Street. And then my son, who's 40, his address was 257 until, me and my ex-wife got an apartment. But then now my grandson was he's 19 now. He was born because my son married somebody from D-side, my daughter-in-law, and when she was pregnant, and my grandson was born in Charter Oak Terrace. So all them generations of Charter Oak Terrace, and actually my daughter-in-law's mother still live in Charter Oak Terrace right now in them houses, those houses they built up. How to maneuver and stuff during that time.
So perceptionally speaking, right? Is Rice Heights one entity as well with Charter Oak Terrace, or is it a separate project, but still, you know, the same family, you know, the same community?
I think it's named different, but I think that 40 acres includes Rice Heights. 1,700 units in that 40 acres, which includes Rice Heights, I think. But you know, when you go back further, you know, where Prince Tech is on the hill, that used to be like a cardboard housing project. Way back, because my dad lived in that housing project.
But you know, in the 70s, like when I was like a little like a young kid, they took care of more like the community. I seen the community really go down. Like I seen, like I was in the 70s, I was in Rice Heights as a kid. So when crack hit and all of that, I started seeing like you go through there and then it's like garbage everywhere. It wasn't like that in the 70s. And it was like, everybody seemed like everybody worked or whatever. If they didn't work, you didn't know that they didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, kids dealt with kids. You know what I'm saying? But when the drugs hit and all of that type of stuff, now you're seeing everybody dealing with each other. And now you got kids dealing with adults and being disrespectful. And because of a person and what they go through. And then you seeing garbage everywhere. So you seen I saw the change from my neighborhood when I was a kid. I was outside that, but I was going back through there. And I'm like, hey, wow. And I seen those that I looked up to at one point just done.
You talking about Shorty? You talking about Shorty? Shorty? Oh, okay. Okay. You talking about Shorty?
They gave him a whole street.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. Let me tell you something about that. My best friend, Carl Fitzpatrick, we've been friends since we were 12 years old. And I said his father was my stepdad, Ivan. Ivan and Shorty came from Jamaica together. And Shorty used to be out. They was out there on that tobacco farm out next to the airport. Shorty was, he saved the community a little bit because he gave out credit, you know. But that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is he helped a lot of people that was, you know, getting welfare checks and the money run out and he let you charge. But the bad thing is that there was a 300% markup. I can only say it like that. A can of tuna fish, so 5 ounces, 6 ounces, may have been like, you know, $1 or 89 cents, but then at the grocery store it was like, you know, 29 cents at the big grocery store. So it pretty much kept you, let's see, I can say this. If your check came on the 16th and you run out of food on the 14th with you and your kids, you can go down there and charge as long as you didn't go over. Then you got to take your check to him and he cash your check for you and he take what you owe him. So it's like credit. It's a revolving door, like a high interest credit card. So pretty much he had the community in a chokehold. You know, it was helpful, but then it wasn't helpful, you know, because you never get out of it. It's like I said, it's like having a credit card with 33% interest, which is racketeering. So you never really get out of that chokehold, you know. And this is not what I'm thinking, because when I became, you know, in the early 20s, my mother had an account down there, and we was able to go down there and say, listen, don't let her charge nothing else. Pay them what we owe them. Don't let her charge nothing else. And you have to break that cycle, you know. But like again, he was a fixture in the community. He started off with a little Goma Pound, a store up on Newfield and Flatbush. It was a malt shop, you know. And then he built. Somebody ran through that, and then he built the little strip mall up there. It was a package store. There was a laundromat. Ron Devon had a music store in there. And it became a church. And then he didn't always have that building. That building down on Flatbush used to be JB's store, Jewish guy. And then when he went out of business, Shorty, took that store over, which was, became a big grocery store.
Yeah, Champ Jones. Put some Henny out, man. It's for the hub, the blocks, all the projects, all the avenues, all the boulevards. Sipping hard, rolling loud. What up? Let's get it. Champ Jones, yeah. Genesis chapter 1 as number 4 and none to come. You could plan for years and months, but ain't shit new when you under the sun. When you under the gun, it's pressure. Niggas gon' do only what you let them. It's no election that can get my ballot. It's only neglection here. A lot of sadness, trying to stack cash with thoughts of living lavish. Don't feel shocked if the block got static. Illmatic like 93. Project halls, Rick with weed. Fatigues of jeans, tees and hats. Coke, E, sniffs a smack is all I see on my side of the atlas. Welcome to the madness. I'ma take time alone to keep smoking. I'ma take time alone to keep toting. I'ma take time alone to keep thinking. I'ma take time alone to keep drinking. Empty cans with empty plans, waiting for hope or Superman. It's Jones to save them all. The fiends getting high, trying to shake it off. I'm facing faults, breaking the votes, smoking with a ghost as I write my quotes. Gladiator, soul of a savior, brick homes and thick radiators. Be easy on the elevator. My city is full of violators. I'm buying papers, a jar full of blend. Getting high in the city full of sin. There's no light, no little glow in. You'll get killed off emotions. I'm coasting, chillin' low key, riding the beat to these Hartford streets, and I'ma take time alone to keep smoking. I'ma take time alone to keep toting. I'ma take time alone to keep thinking. I'ma take time alone to keep drinking.
West side, man.
Ain't out.
Straight building boys, man. Family first foundation.
Evergreen, Southwick, Gray.
Get it how you live.
Listen.
Big block,
all that. Family first foundation.
West side, west side.
That's some good shit. Let me talk to the game now. You know what I mean? It's the people's chant. These niggas know I just stay up on my grind, getting money and fuck hoes is always on my mind. These hoes know I ain't worried about no bitch. I'm tryna stack my dough. I'm tryna go get rich. These niggas know I just stay up on my grind, getting money and fuck hoes is always on my mind. These hoes know I ain't worried about no bitch. Tryna stack my dough, tryna go get rich. I was a seed planted in the soil, grew from turmoil when those who turned on you. The pain's like oil, the way that it burn oil. Well, goddamn, is it hard being loyal? I had snakes when I thought I had soldiers. No teammates, just a list of opponents. I'm still being great.
From my experience, like when I was little and we used to go up to like Chatter Road and stuff like that, is I used to see a lot of dudes who was scrappy like me and who wouldn't take any bullshit. And they just repped a different hood, you know, and something that we could relate to. Like a lot of the guys I became friends with just because of the fact that, you know, we coming from the same background. You know, I could sit here and tell you the same thing, the same stories you got. I got my own stories. And yeah, we would battle each other in basketball and stuff like that to rep our hoods and, you know, and have those bragging rights and stuff. But at the end of the day, we all coming from that same background. But I mean, for me, the difference of Chatter Road was way bigger than Dutch Point. Chatter Road had like 3 sides to it, you know, because it had where Walmart is at now. And it had like A side and B side. I'm not too familiar on which was where, but you know, Dutch Point was a lot smaller. Yeah, you could literally take Dutch Point, the Kings, and all of this, and put it inside Chatter Road, and Chatter Road would probably still be bigger. Yeah.
And BB, grew up in South End, Flatbush, Chatter Road area. Family from Chatter Road. So, yeah, I grew up around the South End. Hartford Pub, Boys and Girls, Southwest Boys and Girls Club.
Growing up as a kid, man, how influential and vital was that Southwest Boys and Girls Club and part of you and your friends growing up lives over here?
Man, it was real vital. I mean, everybody was in the community, knew each other, so it was like we was in school or something, just having fun. Pool games, basketball court, playing against the older heads like Biggs, D Rose, all of them. It was real cool, man. As a community, we all tried to really stuck together.
Wow.
Chatter Road was made from Walmart, basically where Walmart at, where they did all that construction. It went all the way back. You know, you had A and B side. Yeah, projects. I remember Bundy living in there. And Pops and them came from there. The whole family grew up in there. So. Shout out to my Chatter Road family, man. Bynums, shout out to everybody, man. That I mess with, know that's gonna watch this. Shout out to y'all, man.
Which is on the other side of Hartford. I think you should buy the book for a lot of reasons. I wrote the book because I was tired. I'm still tired of going to funerals of kids who haven't even had an opportunity to try anything other than the street. And I think that young people deserve a chance to figure out who they are without having a gun aimed at their head. I think young people deserve to go to school, get an education, to figure out who they are before life happens to them. And that's what the book Cinders is about. It's all about stories, about what happened to us, my generation, trying to come into our own in the 80s and the late 70s, and what's still happening now, what happens in the 90s in Hartford. Hartford is a very small city. Connecticut's one of the smallest states in the whole country. Yet last year, Hartford was in the top 10 of the most dangerous cities in America. You need to get the book. Cindy Brown Austin, thank you.
And shit like that. I'm saying them official projects in Bowes Park. I'm saying them was the hoods. I'm saying, and then now you got a bunch of hoods now. It wasn't a bunch of hoods back then like that. I mean, now every fucking corner you go down, something going on. There's a bunch of new blocks now, so it was different back then. Feel me?
My neighborhood, where I lived at, that whole 2nd Street area, that was, everything was there, man. Like, all the fly shit was there. Like, it was really a movie. It was a movie.
This volume 3, right? Champ Jones. West Side Riding. Champ Jones. Part 3. Let's do it, my nigga. Endo Road. Let's get the spark in. Henny Code. I gotta had a dark head. Hartford. It's one big two-shed. And it's hard to fix when you do that.
110th, man, College Street, man.
That's where it all started, man.
Where it all started, man.
Spoon fed, I never been that. Head high, I could've been flat. Red eye for the green stacks. The greatest alive in.
Well, over here it's quiet, peaceful, honest. Nobody steal, kill, violence. Just words that go on. And sometimes words hurt the community, so.
I mean that. I'm still in the ring where they swing at. In the belly of the beast where you see rats. No TV, you can see gats. Right in the P's where the D's at.
MLB.
Asylum Hill, this area right here. Like, honestly, it got like, for me, it got like a lot of history, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in this park. Like,
speed in the max, everything black. Boys in blue on everything black. Trying to be free and cruise the streets to West Side Riding, volume.
Park, that was $150 block, man. You go over there, you bound to, if you ain't like you bound to get your ass whooped. Point blank period. You want to field walk, we going to Signey Park, man. Any neighborhood used to come through, try to disrespect us, man, you get your ass whooped to Signey Park.
3.
I mean, like me personally, like we was growing up, waking up, just to knock crackheads out. Our older cousins, everybody selling crack to them, so we taking their bites, knocking them out after they done did what they did. That was fun for us, you know what I'm saying? Just running around doing like reckless shit, like, but that was the norm for us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, selling weed, smoking weed, getting drunk every day. Niggas was in middle school doing this like we was adults, like.
That I can and always be a better man. Trying to get all that I need down to my Hennessy and weed. Trying to be alive and free, cause niggas out here is popping heat. Trying to live the best that I can and always have a better hand.
And there was a lot of lessons learned, like just a lot from the negativity that I did as a youth. Like right now as a man, it just made me want to do better and give back, because it's just like so much taken from the community, and it ain't really nobody here really know how to show the love that they have to offer. And I just want to just figure out a way to like spread the love to the community in this area, everywhere, like north, south, man, all that shit.
My name Webster Mingo. I grew up right here in the Asylum Hill neighborhood. This is my church we standing in front of. It played a huge role in my formative years. So, you know, it's only right that we come shoot out here. You get what I'm saying? I grew up right down the street on Willard. And when I moved from Willard, we moved to, I was born on Sumner. Lived on Sumner, we moved to Willard. From Willard, we moved over to the Blue Hills neighborhood. And Yeah, man. I'm Hartford to the core. Like, best memories. Where can I start? Just being outside, yo. As a kid, going to the park, Sigourney Park. My father lived on Sigourney Street. After him, my mother split. I used to sneak over to his house as a kid. At like 2 years old, sneak behind the building through the cut to his crib. We'd go to Sigourney Park. This church, like I was saying, this church was a huge role. Great memories. This church took me to Puerto Rico. This church took me to Disney. This church took me to Arizona. Like, a lot. I owe a lot to this church. I owe a lot to Hartford for raising me to be the person I am.
I respect
You know what I mean?
man.
I used to hang out on Huntington all the time. All the time.
Yeah, the niggas in the food.
Get a lot of money on Huntington Street.
Take me an average date through Huntington in like 04, 03.
I think we need some more niggas to tell more stories, goddamn.
Violence, man. I really believe, like, not even on no funny shit. Niggas was a lot more violent around. Man, maybe that shit is everywhere in Hartford, but it's different levels of violence. Feel me? So, oh man, some of the, what else I could say? Man, Hunt Zone got some of the dopest, some of the illest, legendariest, some of the illest, legendariest drug dealers. Man, they need to write a movie. Y'all need to write a movie, yo.
But that was the ballers. That was the niggas that wasn't really ready to come down the one way and try to get to it. Like, you feel me? Like I said, we had positive influences. They used to tell us to get the fuck out of here. We don't need to be doing what they doing. But eventually, we grew older, came down the one way, man. That's when it was all about that business, man. Strictly business around the one way, man. Then you had some haters from them other neighborhoods coming through shooting. Niggas getting touched, man. Niggas said, fuck that, now I'm trying to get some guns, man. As soon as the first nigga got touched in the crew, I'm trying to get some guns, man. But, you know.
Let it rain, clear it out. Let it rain, clear it out. Let it rain, clear it out.
Niggas really don't know the West, but niggas know Evergreen. But as far as the West End, niggas don't know West. You say like South Marshall around there, that's considered Asylum Hill.
Champ Jones, motherfucking White P. Champ Jones, I keep the freezer hot. Everywhere I go, I make a skeezer pop. Drop draws, motherfuck laws. Haters is watching and calling cop calls. I'm on the top floor, drinking on the core. Not knocking top, but I love twat more. I got G galore, G's gon' pour. Remy for y'all, Hennessy for your boy. We get so into it, it's like a marriage. All we need is a baby carriage. Yeah, I got a method, watch who you step with. Cause most niggas that's in your shoes don't respect shit. I check shit, hoes and O's. And every day I thank God for giving me those.
Oh, this block right here, South Marshall. And I've been on this block for years, man. I think like 18, 19 years I've been living on this block, so this block hold mad weight. Like, everything happened to me out here, man.
What's some of the craziest shit you seen out here, B?
Yeah, man, big yellow tape.
No problem, I'll solve them, no issue.
2 hands, 2 guns,
no pistols.
Niggas talking mad shit till they jaw wired. Every time I smoke is a forest fire. Stop bluffing like a tough
You know, this Berto right here too. This him in the urn.
They get the back of your joint.
That's a good fucking camera you got right there. What's the name of that motherfucker?
Kodak joint.
Cause she like that, you know what, you know how many...
Skydive, staple to neck, waving the tech, effect.
Man, I know a lot of real people that went down out here that still ain't home. You know what I mean? That we all wish they was home, man. Never was shit on like that with nobody. Like, so definitely it definitely changed. Like, feel me? If you look over here, you see these buildings, but you see how it changed though. Look at that. It used to be a big lot, big sanded lot. We was out there playing football, getting in mad mischief, jumping on shit, jumping off of cars, breaking shit. We in the field, throwing rocks, hurting each other. We ain't even kids. We just love that shit. Playing football, a lot of mad shit. We was different gangs. We have a crew right here, 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 and we all getting money. We all getting to it. We all getting to it.
Like you yanking when I clap your shoulder. Touch my chain, you must be senile. Cause my bodyguard look like he starred in Green Mile. This jewelry also known as the Freeze Child. And to all y'all that doubt who fucking with me now. Fucking out of 5, I'm going back to the block. Hustling, making plays, back selling rocks. Make it drop off, then I'm back in the spot. I got my eyes on a new 6 series drop. Fucking out of 5, I'm going back to the block. Hustling, making plays, back selling rocks. Make it drop off, then I'm back in the spot. I got my eyes on a new 6 series drop.
Man, what up?
What up, though? Shout out Champ Jones. We out here, Hartford, baby. You already know.
Where we at, baby?
You already know, man. Right here off the system. Right in the block, baby.
Man.
Shout out to Champ Jones, baby.
My
Do
nigga.
your thing, babies.
My nigga.
Damn, baby.
We don't got. I might have got a coat. Where we at, man? Where we at, baby? Talk to me, baby. Where the block at, man? What up, dude?
Fresh block.
Huh? What's going on? How long you been over here, man?
Shit. 20 plus.
20 plus.
No exaggeration. 20 plus, man.
What separate the Western from the North and the South?
That's a tough one. We our own breed. We was like up and coming hood. Niggas really don't know the West, but niggas know Evergreen. But as far as the Western, niggas don't know West. You say like South Marshall around there, that's considered Asylum Hill. Feel me? But it's a little bit different. But we all family. They consider the West. We all the same. But we best of both. North and South. Get money and get it in. Period.
If you had any shout outs and any thank yous for your hood that you grew up with, what would it be? Out of all your
making me the man I am, man. Just a little bit from everybody. You feel me? It's not like one individual. You feel me? It's just growth from everybody. We all grow. You feel me?
Experience, man. Talk about experience, certain things, man. Listen. Asylum Hill area, no lie, this was definitely a good community, man. We not even consider the North and the Hartford, to be real with you. A lot of people don't understand that. We really consider the West and the Hartford. And the only reason why I knew that, I had to read that in my statement. You feel me? Nigga wrote a statement on me. I had to find out this was the West and not the North end.
Bro, Rich Flair. Let's get it, baby.
Too much dirty grills keep me
So being Western, we right smack dab in the middle over the bridge. You know what I mean? From the North, so we getting to it. We getting that money and we with the shits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, we got the best of both worlds at the end of the day. No disrespect to the North or the South, but at the end of the day, we got the best of both y'all worlds. Like, I'm from the West. I get to it and I get to it. Simple as that.
Sucker run up on me, he might as well just read his will in the field. Always quarterbacking and just move these krills. Mine always racing, that's why I'm always popping pills. Slow me down, homies.
Slow me down.
Got niggas in the cans doing biz, hold it down, homie.
Oh man, Wild West. Wild West is good. That's like, niggas don't even know, that's like the heart of Hartford. You get what I'm saying? Wild West. Wild West.
Who I talk to you, Sean?
Yeah, I heard
Oh, he said he heard.
Wild West is different over there. It's like that should remind me of you could mix the north and the south in one. You on the west side. You feel me? It's like the best of both worlds when you over there.
Seen a lot of sucker niggas off in time to time your mutt rodeo, have 'em with the Dolphins. Men get clapped for that shit you talk. Niggas only speak out here. We let that pistol buck from a time where blood gets smeared. But it's a form of art. You can catch a bullseye and I ain't talking darts. It can be late night or even after dark. Niggas will pull up on you. Hop out, leave that shit in park. There you find.
Feel me? You like right in the middle. You gotta cross the west to get over here to the south. Depending on which way you go, you know what I'm saying? But when you on the west side, that shit just shit's like a mix of both worlds, yo. Alright. Mix of both worlds.
I was an Avenue baby, and I moved to the West End, and I've been on the West End for, what, 20-something years now. So it's hard not to rock with these niggas, and these niggas was affiliated with South End niggas, so if you want to say it like it's a mixture like that, I can take that, but we our own individual people. You feel me? We do things differently over here. You feel me? When it come down to anything, fighting, getting money, community shit, all that. You feel me? We different. And I wish you well. And when it comes to that, we don't kiss and tell. All we do is get snatched and we make it bad, motherfucker. Cause it's that real rap. I know the motherfuckers feel that. Man, it's that real rap. I know the motherfuckers feel.
The West End, man. There's so much curiosity. A lot of people will never get to break down the West End because everybody going over there. What's up, dude? Everybody going over there thinking that they could just go and get some money over there, some bunch of crackers. They probably want some dope. They probably want some cane. But little they know, man, they in them buildings just like we in them buildings.
Man, it's that real rap. I know the motherfuckers feel that. Man, it's that real rap. That real rap, nigga.
I be making moves with the shakers. In the kitchen, water whipping Ronald Reagan. A nigga end up missing if we catch him making statements. Take a nigga down, tombstone, Undertaker. Neck froze, I'm a stone cold stunner. Flossing, doing shows in Boston like Austin. That's
I'm currently in Hartford, Connecticut, on the West End. But even if you know about the West End, you know we got two different sides. We got the West Side and the West End. The West End is where the good taxpayers live, the people with the dogs, the people with the nice lawns, you know, the typical places that y'all think of the West End. The West Side, nigga, is the other side of the West, you know what I'm saying? Where I live at, where there's hella rats, it's dirty, not well kept up, hella pizza shops, liquor stores.
Huh? What up? Family first. 41. What up? Chant. Bullet to your head, fuck what you thought. Fuck around and get smoked like a Newport. All my niggas ballin', it's a new sport. We'll catch his ass slipping on his home court. We don't play no games, we'll take that aim. Walk up with that 40, rearrange his frame. Skate off with my mains, yelling man at B4. Catch me late night in the caddy with that heat drawn. Crazy, insane, be the game. For them 32s, we take trips for them things. In them project halls with them boys always slang. Feds get to snatching, man, we don't say a thing. Going to war with the vest on. Family first, we stick together like we Teflon. You know it. So all you hating niggas keep a step on. And we keep the weapon on. Our aim be dead on. And that bread long, so don't be alarmed when we walk in with toolies on. All black with hoodies on. And we do your harm, whole clique be bully strong. My head up in the clouds, you know you smell the strong. All up in the building, the D's rushing in. I keep it sick like I said when it comes to questioning. Young nigga represent, West End reppin' it. Now who the fuck these niggas think they messin' with? Come on, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Family first, 41, Evergreen, y'all already know, man. Ain't no time for the games, man. Money getting, man. Shit, where you at, man? Talk to these faggot ass niggas.
Hip hop, Zips get flipped every day on the block, believe it or not. I'm not here to justify, I'm not in the air just to fly. It's hot here, so don't get caught. And if you can't score, then switch your sport. Don't get loud, nigga, switch your voice. I'm the #1 choice when these hoes get moist. You feel me, man? Giving back shots, now she feel my pain. I invest and go and do me.
My son who got no milk, nigga. My son who got no milk. Tell your boy John try that shit, nigga. Nigga, man, fuck out of here, nigga.
And loving people that's living in unfortunate circumstances, to say the least.
I would change. People need to help one another more, like down south. We help each other. We don't call people out their name. We call them by their name and have respect for each other. And love one another, not hate.
When it comes to the West End, I'm biased, cause that's where we from. I would say the West End, like, that's the low-key part. Like, every other part of Hartford, not saying people be wilding or like it's crazy, but the West End is the opposite of those. It's real low-key. That's where you'll find a lot of culture, in my opinion. The West End is just a whole different type of environment and atmosphere from any other part of Hartford.
Would you describe the Parkville community?
Young OG reporting in. Everybody know the team, we down to win. Couple young niggas, you know we bound to sing. Got a foot up on the game, I know they feel our Timbs. Room 212, so shorty to slide in. Shorty got a pool, you know I'ma dive in. All up on the highway, screaming like it's my way. My Paulina got her legs in sideways. Started from the stove, but niggas took me from the cold. Show me the moves, now a couple racks is for the clothes. Started in Hartford with my mans out from Bungalow. And I ain't gonna stop till we get 100 shows. Nigga, we lit, tryna get rich. I keep that 40 on my hip, man. Keep 40 on my wristband. Family first, we the shit, man. 40 on the hip, man. Keep 40 on that wristband. And we living up the night. Foot up on the gas and we speeding past the lights like. So we gotta live that fast life. So we gotta get that cash right. We gotta live that fast life.
And Savior.
So we gotta get
Oh
that cash
yeah,
right.
it's the nature boy Rich Flair, he on deck. Family first foundation, nigga, we up next. Wrist wear, shine bright, can't see too clear. Niggas will lose their life if they seem too near. Bust twice the first time he.
So the Parkville community, the funny thing is when I was growing up and when I was in elementary school, it was like the grounds where, right where my building was, it was like the division between the Latin Kings and the Solids, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times there would be fights right in the middle there and stuff like that. But it was almost like a neutral zone too, where a lot of stuff didn't happen there. So it was like, I mean, it was chilled. We lived in a neighborhood where if you just minded your business and did what you had to do, nobody really bothered you.
Ain't seen two here, don't live twice. I'm taking risks, you can't be too scared. Scared money don't make money, money nothing to fear. Blowing paper on new Jordans, yo, I need 2 pair. I'm stunting, it's a habit, boy, my feet too weird. These niggas hating on me, pussy pink too weird. Cook my beef well done, cause I don't wanna get stained. No victim, no cases, I don't wanna be caged. I swear these niggas act like bitches like they wanna be cake. Man, I just mean what I say when I wanna be great. Yeah, I keep that 40 on my hip, man. Real shit, boy, you better be safe.
It wasn't nothing crazy. I guess the craziest thing I would say that came out of that spot was on the first floor of that building. I don't know if a lot of people remember around the time when the Land Kings at the end, towards the end, when the police really started shutting stuff down. There was this girl who got shot on in Charter Oak, and the little girl's family used to actually live on the first floor. I actually know them personally. So then that was like I would say the shot that kind of changed everything around as far as the gang volume and how things were happening around that time. But it was crazy, like, to know that little girl growing up and then that happened, that tragedy, I would say. It really changed the format of Hartford altogether, I would say.
And you're speaking about Marcelina Delgado, right?
Yes. Yep. And the family lived down there. To this day, I still communicate with them, and we check up on each other because we actually grew up with each other. It was so crazy around that. I mean, but it's sad that things like that have to happen for us to actually change and say, yo, we got to do things differently, I feel like a lot of times we're too reactive. You know what I'm saying? We don't take the time to say, all right, what can I do today to make tomorrow better? And then we wait for tomorrow something tragic to happen, and then all of a sudden we're making all these changes, and the tragedies don't need to happen if we just decide to take a step ahead and say, hey, I got to do something today to change the tomorrow.
Looking out my window, I seen it all go down. Fresh off that porch, I seen the world go round. Where parents know you, I swear it's paranormal. A host full of ghosts, paying you witness what I go through. Trying to be same kid, where they even slang kids. I had the same styles that Trey did. Loved by my mama, she fought all the drama, but it wasn't a substitute for the presence of my father. Living with no sleep, avoiding the police. I swear it's getting so deep. I'm a boy from the hood, dressed trying to eat, receiving the least in the belly of the beast. I'm just a boy from the hood, making some progress, still in the projects, but all of this nonsense. A boy from the hood, they wanna see me sell, it ain't hard to tell. I feel that I fell. I'm just a boy from the hood.
For Black children, incarceration is an especially common family circumstance. More than 1 in 9 Black children have a parent in prison or in jail, a rate that has more than quadrupled in the past 25 years. A significant association was found between race and parental incarceration, and Black and Hispanic individuals had the highest prevalence.
My friends is dope boys taking a course. Another one dedicated his life in the sports. Most of them fatherless, but it didn't bother them to pull up, hop out, and get the fire in. My man was low and educated, living in the hood where innocence is underrated. He planned to be a football player, got blamed, running like a football player. Living with no sleep, avoiding the police. I swear it's getting so deep. I'm a boy from the hood, dressed trying to eat, receiving the least in the belly of the beast. I'm just a boy from the hood, making some progress, still in the projects, but all of this nonsense. I'm a boy from the hood, they wanna see me sell, it ain't hard to tell. I feel that I fell. I'm just a boy from the hood.
Yeah, she said it again. The government got us trapped, y'all. One thing we have to understand, everything you need to know to all your questions is within. We as a unit just don't understand. What we have to figure out is where we need to go. And where we need to go is within. We have to reach deep down in our soul to figure out who we are. Stop judging one another and love one another.
I mean, we done went from heartbeat to homicide. That mean niggas done killed the beat.
Yeah. Confined in the place of the selfish.
I think I can tell them is to just stay away from this shit, man. This ain't for nobody, man. This bring two things, man, death or jail. But you know, if you gotta adapt, man, just know what you're getting yourself into. And really sit down and strategize your every move, your every step, man. Because it's gonna help you stay alive out here and it's gonna help you stay free. Real shit, man.
But a mind full of demons not dealt with. And it's hot in the pot where the shell spit. What a stove, heating up your home. Feeling like a don, dressed in your old clothes. Can't trust your new chick cause your old hoes. It's extortion and a lot of...
Now, for as long as you've been growing up out here, how do you feel about mental health? Do you feel like we grew up with mental health issues through inner city communities as far as environmental like changes, as far as like the way the city is set up, as far as like the buildings being boarded up and drugs being around? Do you think that plays a part in your mental health, or do you think that's just a myth?
Abortions, violent approaches without no reporting. Stay shut, it ain't that important. It's niggas trying to eat and resist being homeless. We infested and often tested to react real reckless if disrespected.
Where they say a project came from, like the experiment of putting, a maze upside down and having the rats, try to figure out how to survive. And what happened is when there wasn't enough resources, the rat on the top will always eat the rat on the bottom. And that's just where we at with it. Like I said, we lumped together, and so we trying to all fight for these same resources. And it's just like, when you got an apartment, they say, if you clean your apartment, whatever, you can think better, you think clearer. If I'm in a crowded area, it's harder for me to process, thoughts and things. I got other people's thoughts and things bouncing off of me, they problems, they tell me about all day.
My checklist includes survival, but baby mamas, baby daddies off the rival. Yeah, don't look to the sky, dude. We gotta live this regardless of Bible.
Make the ruler. Oh, fuck my nigga, I ain't been working.
What? What are you on?
Never buy no weed. Oh, hat.
Oh, I don't even got my
Hey, yeah, you funny as hell, yeah. That's that slip, man.
Come on, man. How your family life over here, man? This all family, how does go down over here, bro?
Yeah, this family, bro. What up, bro? What happened? Oh, keep it cool.
I got you.
Family,
I got
man.
you.
It's the hub, man. You don't get no respect in your hub. I don't know what to tell you, man. You gotta know everybody in your hub. That's just #1 rule.
Make it out, but in the meantime, try to survive my city, man. What I'm gonna do? Make it out, but in the meantime, sipping for my city, man. What I'm gonna do? Make it out, but in the meantime, trying to feed my family. What I'm gonna.
A lot of motherfuckers was fucked up in the head, man, or the environment. Motherfuckers being crack babies and shit coming up, or just the shit you going through is traumatized, saying. That's why people are the way they are now.
It may sound oxymoronic, niggas gripped up. Just worry about my life out here, and it part could be part of my own PTSD.
It was just me and my dad, so I feel like that made us stronger as men. I'm not gonna lie to you. The negatives was like, obviously I grew up without a mother.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, out of about 12 million single-parent families in 2016, the vast majority, more than 80%, were headed by single mothers.
This shit, man, this shit really ain't been easy. The fussing and fighting and shit with my mom and shit, my love,
but I never had a father to show me how to treat a woman. You know what I mean?
Well appreciated.
Especially when you out here, you ain't got no father and shit like that. A lot of the niggas, a lot of us ain't got no father, so you know how that shit go, man. You out here, your mother raising you, you ain't really, you feel me? You ain't really listening to your mom. You got your niggas out here, your niggas, we all growing up without no father, so we just out here, feel me? So we ready to prove a point at the end of the day.
Your sacrifice was a gift from Christ. All the long days, all the long nights, living in the home, hot peas in the comb, trying to feed two badass kids on your own.
We raised ourselves. Like me and this nigga might link up throughout the day, and we gotta figure it out now. Cause his mother at work, my mother at work, and we don't got no father.
We got all we gotta do.
Every time I lied,
You all appreciate
never
it.
held back, made enough use of scraps, made sure I was proud to say I'm black.
You all appreciate it.
My lady, since day one, this is a letter from your son.
I'm seeing motherfuckers slump on the bricks in the park with a needle in their arm and something tied around it, and not knowing what the fuck that was, and that right there can be considered traumatizing because it's a mental thing, and that's stuck in my mental forever.
Washington Post. As of Wednesday, 63 juveniles had been charged with homicide, just 2 fewer than in 1989. More than 86% of black homicide victims are killed with guns. Though African Americans and Hispanics make up approximately 32% of the U.S. population, they comprise 56% of all incarcerated people.
It's a statistic that say 1 out of 3 African American and Hispanic males will experience jail time in their lifetime. You think that's a fact or a myth?
Nigga, we all going to jail.
Do this, my nigga. How you feel about how inner city communities feel about imprisonment and how the judicial system keep us in predicaments where it's either we gonna have to turn to illegal means or settle for less to feed our families? How you feel about that?
I mean, where I'm from, this how we live. So either way, we gonna get it by any means, and we gonna eat. You feel me? So however they doing it, we gonna get ours regardless. You feel me? So.
Still in the projects, but all of this nonsense. My boy from the hood. They wanna see me sell. It ain't hard to tell. I feel that I fell. Just a boy from.
But the question is, does Hartford public school system exhort the prisoner pipeline? Hell yeah, bro. From the mayor to the board of education down to the teachers that they hire. That's not even from the community. Let's go.
So I'm gonna tell you firsthand, coming from Southwestern schools and shit. Basically, graduating from right there at Weaver, it ain't no education. The difference is enormous. I'm talking super enormous. Like
The one dedicated his life in the sports. Most of them fatherless, but it didn't bother them to pull up, hop out, and get the fire in. My man was.
Do the streets prepare you for jail?
Nigga, the school system prepare you for jail.
I called you a nigger. You're a nigger. Nasty fucking nigger. Nigger.
And people are very judgmental. So they see a black man from a city, they think something negative automatically.
Shit is crazy. All this police work. Get all this shit right here. Get this shit. It's all this police work. And there's nothing we doing. Nothing in the community happening. They don't care about nothing what happens with these black people. It's just something that happened to one of theirs.
Right. Boss, tell me what this place is. Cut off, traceless, but I'm here working for these wages in the atmosphere where they racist, tasteless, disgusting, like I'm wasted.
So what do you think is one misperception that you feel like the America at large has about black males, Latino males? What's a misperception do you think they hold on to?
That we all gangsters.
Nothing, feeling inferior. It's the same old song when
definitely they make us feel uncomfortable because, you know, they constantly mess with ethnic people.
Now look in the mirror, bruh. It's clearer, huh? Mirror, huh? We all just.
Let me ask you this, man. Do you feel like the angry black man is a myth or a fact?
The mad black woman and the angry black man are exclusive to them being black. You know what I'm saying? It's just about their conditions. Mad black woman, angry black man. I don't know, man. That just sound like another one of those propagandas to have us talking shit about ourselves and to give people a perception that, you know, like we should have a low self-image.
This for my own son. That's why us as women is fucking mad, because we have to pick up the slack that men's supposed to do. It's 50-50, my nigga. I didn't lay down and make this baby by myself, but I gotta pick up your slack and take care of it all. School, meetings, PPTs, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. And the funny thing,
well, they just trying to plant that in our head like early. I don't think that's not. It's not like those are not things. Like there obviously are hella angry black men. I'm an angry black man.
These trials and these obstacles and elements that, amongst others, it's a possibility they have the same thing. So if we say we all live in one condition and we all dealing with the same mental illness at one point, how is it that we're still able to find a way to coexist with each other?
I want to put that with survival of the fittest. You know, after a while, you kind of adapt to what's going on around you, and you got to survive just like any animal in the jungle.
My niggas that live the real struggle. Shit. Niggas confused, feeling puzzled, thinking the only way to get paid is to hustle. Feeling the system is against him and his brothers. This is for my niggas using no rubber. Spare the seeds cause they can leave in a moment, knowing how shit can get on the corner. Every night I try to avoid mourning. This is for my niggas that see morning. This is for my niggas, I'm still mourning. This is for my bitches that love to hold it down. Head above water, wet enough to drown.